Good evening, my babies. This is an emergency broadcast. I am Miss Cosmos, and the veil between dimensions has never been thinner. The visions overwhelm me. The end of the month approaches. Tonight's predictions may cause existential awareness, dimensional vertigo, and uncomfortable knowledge of things to come. What you're about to witness was meant to be seen.
Miss Cosmos, interdimensional psychic hotline. Call now.
Welcome, seekers of cosmic truth. I am Miss Cosmos, your guide through the veils of reality. Tonight is unlike any other night. My third eye has been overwhelmed with visions of convergence. The walls between worlds grow ever thinner, and I must share what I have seen before the clock strikes midnight on the 30th. The hotline is now open for those seeking guidance in these final days before the convergence. Our first caller arrives right on schedule.
Miss Cosmos?
Frequency Philly from the night signal. I've been expecting your call.
How did you... Never mind. Our broadcast equipment is picking up signals from shows that haven't aired yet. Nova keeps shorting out whenever we receive them. What does it mean?
The temporal fabric pins alongside the dimensional. What you receive are echoes from paths not yet taken. I see a voice step in your future. Someone practicing to become another. Guard your frequencies carefully, especially those connecting to cryptid dating game.
Are you saying someone's trying to...
The shapeshifter seeks the host's chair. When static fills your booth on the 28th, you'll know they've made their move. Sandy from Gorbo's swim hole. The water speaks through you now, doesn't it?
Miss Cosmos, how did you know I'd call? The lake is acting strange. It's glowing brighter than ever, and we keep hearing what sounds like brother coming from the depths. Visitors are transforming faster than usual. What's happening to Gorbo?
What was once whole was split in two. Lake and host separate yet connected. As the end of the month approaches, the halves seek reunion. The blue depths call to the scales. When midnight strikes, the dancer's stability will be tested.
Should we close the park?
The park is exactly where the first reunion must occur. Prepare for visitors you never expected. Damien Lovejoy. The vessel struggles tonight.
Miss Cosmos, I won the 24 hours of dimensional stability at the dance competition, but I don't know when to use it.
He grows stronger.
Should I use it now or wait?
The prize was no accident, my sweet Damien. The dance revealed the truth. You and Vivian Void Matter share a resonance that temporarily stabilizes the fragment within you. Save your stability for when the clock strikes midnight on the 30th, not a moment before.
But the shapeshifter...
The lovers must unite as the halves reunite. Your dance with Vivian was a rehearsal for what must come. Without her, stability will fail when Gorbo calls to the fragment within you.
Reunion approaches. Thank you, Miss Cosmos. I'll be ready.
I see it all now. The shapeshifter practices in shadows, voice by voice, preparing to take what isn't theirs. The convergence approaches. All shows will bleed together when the walls fall. The algorithm incident was only the beginning. What was separated must converge. Gorbo and Gorgulax will reunite unless the dancer and the realtor combine their frequencies at the exact moment of midnight. Seekers of truth, our time grows short. Whatever happens after April 30th, remember this: reality is merely the strongest broadcast frequency. When all frequencies converge, that's when true transformation begins. Until we meet again in whatever reality remains. This is Miss Cosmos signing off.
What's up, pups? How's everybody doing tonight? Good to see everybody. Good to see all of you. Where we at? T.S. Pedro. How does it do that? This fucking thing. That's right. Smash the likes, pups. Smash the likes. That was Blacklight AI. Link is in the description. You guys are curious. Lucky Luke, what's happening, brother? Good to see you. Team RH. Yep. Claudia. You got some coming with chat. Sounds good. I got some in the fridge. What's up, Mr. Pulse Jiu-Jitsu? Alpha Hover. What's up? I click buttons. What's going on, Grab? Surfing Coin. Yeah, I hope you're ready. What's up? What's up? Link is in the Telegram group if you guys want to join. Riskino, what's happening? Yeah, there's a lot of news, man. Agenda 2030 is happening. What's up, Crypto Surf? Hey, really appreciate that, man. Thanks for coming by. First time I've seen you. Tam, what's going on? How you been? What's up, Deerslayer? How you doing, brother? Yeah. Let's do it. The deep state. And they're watching us. They know what's going on. They're watching everything. Yo, what's up, Zymus? What's going on, Crypto Mans? How you doing? Marco Marcello, how are you? Good, man. We got a lot of news. I'll walk you through it. Get you home. A lot to cover, man. Things are ramping up here. The world is speeding up. Let's do it. All right. You guys check this out. This is super cool, all right? This is why sound was such a big deal. But I'll play. You guys will understand what I'm talking about. So listen, if your body, what's your body? It's like 70% water. So that's why I talk a lot about frequency a lot. People ask me from everything, like, why are you religious? Why are you that? Why do you believe in certain things? And ancient cultures understood this as well. Well, it's because of frequency. Because certain sounds create certain patterns and shapes within you. They orient you. They help orient you. Okay, it's one of the levels. And you're 70% water. So when you're in circumstances around people or thinking a certain way, or just simply if you don't know what to do, you can just do nothing, think nothing, and hum. Even just humming. You don't even need to just hum. It has incredible healing powers. Bells, humming, toning, anything. But look what these frequencies do to the water. Look how it orients it. All right. So this is what's happening inside you. All right. That's why frequency matters a lot. People's vibe, their aura, all these things matter. Terrence Howard has entered the chat. Yeah, man, he's been on a trip last few years. He's doing great. I think he got some DMT and changed his life. You probably saw what Hollywood was really like. Now, I lived in LA for a long time. I could tell you a lot of stories, man. Seen a lot of things. I had a private bartending service, and I'd go into a lot of celebrities' homes while they're having dinner, and I would set up my bar and make them drink. So they would just walk up to the bar, you know, a lot of famous people, and I'd make margaritas and martinis and what have you. And man, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of stuff, a lot of crazy stuff. Now this is cool. This is a Dutch journalist. He's demonstrating the new real-time AI facial recognition glasses. All right, this is cool, and this is what it looks like. This is what you're gonna get. Hang on, let me see if I can get this bigger for you guys.
Mag je wat vragen? Als ik naar Amsterdam Centraal wil, kan ik dan het beste naar
De metro
de
pakken.
metro, niet de trein pakken?
Nee, de metro, dat is vaak sneller. En dan gewoon de Noord-Zuidlijn.
Ja.
Of die naar Centraal Station.
Als ik naar Centraal Station
It's so loud as it goes,
moet ik dan
pups.
de metro of de trein nemen?
Je kunt ze allebei nemen,
Ja?
maar moet je snel zijn?
Ja? Moet ik de metro of de trein pakken?
Nee, je moet de metro pakken. Volgens mij moet je metro 50 of 51 pakken.
50, 51.
Ja, het geeft gewoon aan. Als je rechtdoor loopt, dan zie je de metro.
Ja.
Metro 52.
Klopt het dat je
Isn't that a trip? Brings up where she works, her coworkers, everything.
Klopt het dat je
Crazy.
Floor heet?
Ja.
Ja. Van Gunsten?
Ja.
Ja. Bent u Helene?
Ja.
Helene Wachters?
Ja, klopt.
Van Eden McKellen?
Ja, klopt. Hoezo?
Heet u Wijs?
Ja.
Basharat?
Ja, klopt.
Ja.
It's crazy.
Kan ik jou even staan?
Klopt het dat u jurist bent?
Ja.
In Venture Capital?
Onder andere, ja.
Ja.
Zie je dat?
Ik heb dus een bril waarmee ik gezichten kan scannen. Ik zie aan je dat je ervan schrikt.
Nou, inderdaad.
Ja.
Oh ja, ik zie dat ding nou inderdaad
Ja.
gaan. Oh, ik zie nu ook een lampje aangaan. Holy shit.
Op die manier informatie vergaart over mensen.
Ja.
God, bij mij nog niet oké.
Ja.
Ik bedoel, het is een tijd van tegenwoordig. Ik bedoel, digitale wereld.
Je verwacht dit gewoon.
Je verwacht het gewoon.
Nou.
Ik ben ook voor jou in. Geef me op.
Ja.
Wow, that's crazy. So you just literally walk into a club, a bar, anywhere you have internet. You walk up to somebody and it gives you their name. You probably pull up whatever socials they have. You know a lot about them. It's crazy. And this is it. We're not going backwards. We're not going backwards. This is a real thing, man. Yup. What's up, Jim Cork? How you doing? What's up, T.S. Pedro? Bartender Diddy. I did not do a Diddy party, but I do have some stories of the Diddler from way back in the day when it was just rumors. But everybody smash the like button. If you guys are tuning in, I know some of you guys are driving home right now, but hit the like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel already.
Hey, Wachters?
Ja, klopt.
Van Eden McKellen?
Ja, klopt. Hoezo?
Heet u Wijs?
Ja.
Basharat?
Ja, klopt.
Ja.
That's amazing. They get their last name too. Damn, that's crazy. All right, so this is a little bit about the U.S. banks. U.S. banks are. Oh, by the way, shout out to that was from Massimo Rainmaker, 1973. U.S. banks are currently facing $482 billion in unrealized losses, an increase of 33% from the prior quarter. So this is why they'll have to print at some point, because pretty much prop up the banks. Look at this. This is insane. Makes 2008 look like, phew, crazy. Crazy. All right. I don't know what kind of games everybody's playing these days, but these are not the games we had when I was growing up.
Oh, Chris behind. Double shot. Chris.
Which toy store is this from? Are you kidding me? This is the whole game?
Oh, Chris behind. Double shot. Chris. Oh, you good?
Yeah. So toys are evolving too, right? What's this guy saying? What's that? It's a trip. I don't even know how I find this stuff. So shout out to I'm Joseph X1. All right, some of you guys were asking in the chat, who's behind it all? Who's doing all this stuff? All right. Well, let's listen to this guy. I think he used to work for the Vatican. Who's been to the Vatican, by the way? I've been to the Vatican before. I've been a couple times. Been all over the place. And it is a very interesting place. It is very interesting. I could probably do a whole hours on just the Vatican. I remember walking up the stairs and seeing the view from the top, where you go on top of the Vatican, and there's like you can walk out and see from behind the statues that are along the top of the Vatican. Here, let me pull up a picture for you guys. If you guys are just tuning in, welcome to this show. Subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. I'm going to show you this picture here. Hang on one sec. Okay, so okay, this one's perfect. This is what it feels like when you're actually there. Can I bring this up in here? Yeah, it was. It is not what we think it is. It was infiltrated a long time ago. How do I pull this up? Oh, okay, I know how to do it. Can I do that like this? It's really protecting this image here. Hang on a sec. I want to show you guys this view, because this is what it feels like when you're actually there. All right, so you're in this big courtyard, all right, and I'll give you guys a high view, and you go inside here, and you go up these stairs that are in the back on the side, and you can come up here and look. At least when I was there, you could do that, and I don't know if they've changed that. I don't see anybody up there in that picture. And this is kind of like what the view looks like. Oh, hello. So this is kind of what you see when you're up there. All right. You see that all right? Yeah. So you climb up here, and then you can see into Rome. All right. And I've walked up and down this thing many times. And right in the middle is an obelisk. All right. It was a phallic symbol from ancient times, from ancient Egypt. And they brought these to all the major centers that they would go on to control. Now, who is in the Vatican? The Vatican was infiltrated by the ancient priesthood of Egypt. So they are, when Egypt fell, so to speak, it just transitioned. All right, and they took over Rome. That's a whole nother video. All right, but you see this obelisk here. All right, so that has a lot of significance. It's also in DC as well. What's up, Crypto Princess? How are you? What's up, Backwards Hat Dad? How you doing? You been twice, Claudia? Right on. It's a beautiful place. I mean, there's incredible energy there. It's definitely special. Okay, where were we? Let's go back here. Okay, let's listen to what he has to say. This is really interesting. I'm going to do a deep dive in this guy, too, actually.
The Vatican run the world.
Figure this out. Most people don't digest this. They're the largest single stockholder in the world. They own the most property in the world that pays no taxes. Every school, every Catholic church. I mean, there's an organization a lot deeper than them called the Solidarity.
I'm not familiar with that.
Nobody
Solidarity.
It's a 2,000-year-old club.
It's a club.
It's a club. And it's in the catacombs of the Vatican. You know, the Vatican's a city when it's in itself.
I know. I used to live right next to it.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
Then you know.
I mean, I don't know like
most
that.
Most people don't know what I'm telling you.
So they meet down there, you're saying?
That's where they are. They only meet there, period.
Right. Okay.
They're very high-level profile people throughout the world. You get invited to be in it. Who's running the world? I think they are.
Wow.
When you think of what they control and what they do, it's amazing.
There you go. So what did he call it?
taxes.
Solidarity?
Every school, every justice, they're the largest single stockholder.
I'm not familiar with that.
Nobody
Solidarity.
It's about 2,000-year-old club.
There you go, the solidarity. What's up, Crypto Neophyte? How's it going? Thanks, brother. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the show. Welcome, everybody. If you guys are new, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Well, that was from, by the way, that was from Mr. Red Pill's joke, Jaka Kwarmi. Where that is. This is me and the boys going to 7-Eleven to eat a $2 sandwich after spending $200,000 for the dip. Man, I can really relate to this. Can't play it, though. Oh, but it's funny. What's up, Grumpy Schnauzer? How you doing? What's up, Hans? Good to see you guys. This is funny. Cat. This is actually some serious takedowns right here. Oh, that was fucking brutal. Damn. That was really brutal. Look at this. Look at this. Oh. Somebody's got to tap them out. Tap him out, man. Tap him out. He's done. He's done. These takedowns are brutal.
Unbelievable resurrection
Smacking him.
for the Undertaker.
Doing. I can see one flaw in Carlito's.
Done good. All right, it's enough kitty for the night. Oh, this one was funny because it reminded me of somebody. Yo, what's up? Who's in the green room? Panos, what's happening, brother? How are you? Good, man. You ready to punch? You want me to punch you in? Yeah, you're live. I think everybody can hear you too, actually, man. Okay. Oh, okay, cool, man. It's like a 2-for-1 deal, huh? With you guys. All right, hang on. Chat. I did a different type of stream last night. Hey, chat, can you guys hear the green room when these guys are speaking in the green room? Okay, yeah. Okay, let me punch you in. Hang on 1 second. I'm sure I gotta punch in. 1 second. So let me make room for both you guys. And cool, man. Right now. Oh, you got a...
cool.
Yeah. Okay, you don't have a picture or nothing, huh?
No, I do not have a picture.
Okay, that's fine. It's no big deal.
I don't ever join Zoom, join calls or streams with Zoom. So I will set that up for next time. Maybe I'll come on again. I'll have a picture. But for now, yeah, it's just a shadowy figure.
He's a shadowy figure. Bubs, Panos is in the house. Everybody make some noise. Smash the like button. What's up, Panos?
Apparently they said they can't hear me.
No, I think you're good now. I punched in.
Yeah? All right, cool.
Yeah, you're in the stream. Hey, yo, who's this? Wait, when's KR coming? I'll play this when he gets here. This one's funny. Guys, California. Is this California? Shout out to Wall Street Ape. So it was raining blue. Fucking blue rain. Wow. Who's in California?
Raining a couple minutes
Watch
ago.
this. Watch this.
Is that real, yeah?
Is this fucking real?
Blue water.
Anybody in California can vouch for this?
Raining Gatorade, bro.
Yeah, it looks like Gatorade, right? They can set that up.
It was
It'd be
raining a
fake.
couple minutes ago. Can anyone explain the blue water?
Interesting.
It was not blue. Okay, it's fake. All right.
So
That's what I thought. Bullshit. All right. But this is not bullshit. I think this is real. Watch this. We're in a whole new era, pups.
The fuck is that?
Right, that's it right there. A little noisy, but it's Gen 1. That's crazy, man.
Was there some kind of drone?
Exactly, yeah. Look, she grabbed it. There it is.
Oh, interesting. That's tiny. I thought it was bigger than what it was. Small.
Put a smiley face on that little guy. Look at this thing. Wow. This is getting crazy, man. Crazy times. Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Exactly. We're in a lot of trouble. What are the chances it's used for good? No, they could use it for good. Do something good with it. Yo, money hungry. We got somebody else coming in the green room, pups. Party's just getting started over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's that button at? What's going on with my buttons? Oh, okay, there we go.
Can you guys hear me?
1 second. I'm going to punch you in a second. Come in. There you are. Yep, you're in the show. What's up, Money Hungry? How you doing?
Bro, I don't know why my name's Money Hungry. I tried to change it. It don't change. I don't get the name.
Oh, I hit this button. Hang on.
How do I change the name on this? Let me try to figure it out.
Come on, dude.
And there's a little box with 3 buttons. Click that.
View profile.
Hang on 1 sec. I'm having some tech issues right here. Hopefully it's not the internet. Hang on 1 second, pups. Let me close some charts down here. Maybe I'm losing signal. Hang on 1 second. What the fuck's wrong with this thing? Fuck. Okay. Okay. Everything working now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, right on. Cool.
I just don't know how to change my name. It says there to sign in, but I don't think I'm signed in, so I think that might be the problem.
Maybe. I mean, you can change it if you want. It's up to you.
I'll have it figured out. I don't know if I can try, but
I think I can change it. You want me to change it from my end? Can I change it? I can.
Oh,
change
please.
It. Yeah. What do you want me to put?
Yeah, just KR for all-time high, or just KR. You know, so it don't look weird. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Cool. I didn't know I could do that, so right on. Awesome, man. Welcome to the
Oh,
show.
that's awesome.
Everybody smash the like button. We're just doing some news right now. You guys check out the Cyborgs. Cyborgs are fighting.
Welcome to the future, right?
When can I buy one of those?
You can buy them now. I think it's like 600,000. I don't remember. I think I saw somewhere you can buy it right from Boston Dynamics, one of them.
Well, I'll have to wait for the peak of the bull market. Then maybe I can afford one.
That's fucking sick. You know this is coming. Just fucking put what? Roman candles on there. It's his ancestors. He's like, yeah, that's where it all began.
You know, there's one that literally worries me, and it's the picture of the robot in bed with I forgot her name. It's an influencer. Kim Kardashian, I think. I'm not sure. And there's like a picture of her in bed with a robot.
See if I can find it.
And I just thought that is so weird as fuck.
Imagine you come
to
one day.
Bro, that's coming soon.
Your missus is in bed with a robot. Catch her in bed with a robot.
Have you seen this one yet? Check this.
Oh yeah, I see that one earlier. That one's quite cool. Yeah.
Look at this fucking thing. Jesus.
Oh, that's it.
I'll be able to get a fleet of these at pDAI pegs to $1 now. That is beautiful. That's crazy.
Beautiful but scary, right? Like, I mean, if it just runs out of petrol as you're flying, and
there's nothing holding you on the back. You just like tilt it back too much. It looks like you just go falling off the back.
Hop in a wheelie midair.
You say run out of petrol. Run out of batteries. I'm sure it had some auto descend feature. I hope. That's.
Yeah, with drones, when the battery is about to run out, they just auto descend, like you said, but they just come back down to earth.
Wow.
I'm sure it's got something like that in it.
Amazing. The Volanut air bike. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Oh man, so many things to look forward to. So many awesome things to look forward to. Look at this. We're gonna be riding these soon. Wow. Oh, so I'm glad you guys are here actually, because I found this video, and the second I saw this video, it reminded me of somebody we all know. You guys tell me if it reminds you of the same guy. Now there's 4 parts to this video. There's his arrest and all that, but this is the part that I thought was gold. So real quick preface, he was like riding a boat drunk, and the police made him pull over, and it's kind of interesting, but this is part 4 when they drag him to the police station finally, so check it out.
God, I'm so scared. I'm shaking. That's why you sat right back down as soon as you turned around. Because I'm in f***ing handcuffs, and you guys are f***ing cops. Shut up.
Okay, let's see if who he reminds you of is the same person who I thought of.
God, if you weren't a cop, bro, I'm not even speaking. The women love you. That's all the marathon girls. That's an AP. Worth more than your whole f***ing life, pussy. That's 110 grand in your hand. You're not strong.
I know who you're talking about. Alpha Cash? Cash Alpha? What is it?
You're f***ing a 2-time state wrestler. Look up my f***ing name.
That's not right.
Richard Hart.
Start sucking on my right now.
Dude, this guy's on fire.
Ring, so you got you know what it should be? That's why you guys were trying to convince me to work for Monroe County Police, right? Shut the f*** up. Who convinced you? Your mother.
You said you work at 2 cops?
Don't worry about wherever the f*** I work at. You hear me? You hear me? Who f***ing who? You think I need that money? My dad's f***ing rich, nigga.
Okay, congratulations.
There's no reason to seize my boat.
Who said anything about seizing your boat?
I'm asking you a question. Answer yes or f***ing no. Y'all want to be disrespectful to me? I'm going to be disrespectful to y'all.
Have I disrespected you?
Put that shit in my f***ing bag, nigga. Pick it up. You know you're missing a stone. Why are you still talking, bro?
Must have been a long drive.
Oh my god, you have no idea. You were not Fuck you. Seize my boat. There, I'll buy a new one. Bought that shit for 124 grand, dumbass. Sit down. Come sit down. I like when you touch me.
Oh, he's gonna have fun in jail.
Oh my god, that is hilarious.
Who does that remind you of? I don't get it.
No, I'm not gonna say. So you
I
said
think
it reminded you of Cash. You said Cash Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe there's a little
Just
bit.
without the tattoos and the meth stare.
Somebody said Gym Rat in the chat. I don't know who this Gym Rat person is.
Bro, he blocked me earlier, bro. I didn't even say anything to him on our space, bro.
Wait, he blocked you?
Yeah, bro. He sent me a message on DM, called our space as a joke, and blocked me.
Damn. Oh yeah, he unfollowed me. That's okay. It's okay.
He unfollowed you? Why did you guys fight? Why? You guys know who he is?
Bro, we don't even know who he was until like a couple of weeks ago. He started popping into our spaces randomly. I mean, he started kind of like, I don't know, Panos, if you want to explain it, bro.
Yeah, like we welcome everybody onto our spaces. Like we don't care like what part of the ecosystem you support or who you are. But he came up and he was like, I don't know, he was being cool at first. And then I don't know, he kind of just had like a bit of an attitude on him, and he was kind of like trying to talk shit a bit to me and KR. And we didn't even really say much to him. Other people got up and were like, bro, like, what are you talking about? You disappeared for how long? And then you come back and you're trying to like be some leader in the space or whatever. And I think he just got really offended because he got like quite a few people on the panel, like, I wouldn't say attacked him, but they were like, bro, like you can't talk like that to people. Like, well, you don't even know what you're talking about. And he got upset and he left and then he blocked everybody.
Oh shit! What was the subject of the chat?
So at the time there was no subject, but he was basically trying to imply for people to hire him to shill our bags, basically. So he wanted he wanted 20K. He was like, you need to find someone handsome who looks like me, who will be committed to this kind of thing. And it was like, bro, like what? Like at first it was like I didn't get it. Then he started asking for my age, like, and he's like, have you got the expertise in this ecosystem? But I never ever mentioned anything about me or Panos, anything. But obviously, we said that we got a sponsor. XUSD is our sponsor currently. We're looking into more sponsors in regards to these spaces. You know, we got some in the pipeline, just waiting on certain protocols to come out, and they'll be sponsoring our spaces as well. And it was a thing of like he just kind of. Yeah, man, he just brought kind of bad vibes all of a sudden. And at first I was like, bro, it's not that deep, you know? Like, maybe you just worded it incorrectly kind of thing. But, you know, it is the way it is. Like, we're all here to work for our bags. Like,
right.
But, yeah, it was funny.
So you guys are going to hire him?
Yeah, he's going to be the new co-host.
Was he not in your DMs asking you to co-host, Panos?
Yeah, he asked for co-host, and then he called us a joke and then blocked me.
Damn.
I don't take things personally, man.
He said he was handsome?
Apparently. According to him, he's a handsome young man.
What did you think? Was he a handsome guy?
I don't know. I don't really look at guys like that, man. But if you ask me, like, he's a guy that I would ask for his ledger in the alleyway at midnight, you know? Like, that's what he looked like to me.
That's funny, man. Yeah, you know, girls always say like this guy. I'm like, can you tell the difference between guys? The way I look at it is like, does the dude have money or not? Does he have game? Like, I don't know what a girl's looking at. Like, how can you tell? We all look the same.
Oh, bro, you'd be surprised, bro. So I remember when I first started dating my girl, and yeah, it was a thing of like, you know, you got better lips than other guys. You got this, you got that, and it's like, where do you get all these fucking things from? Like, sorry for swearing, but it's like, it was just weird. It's like, oh, fair enough, kind of thing.
She likes your lips.
But yeah, it was hilarious. The beard is the one, bro. You see, if you got the beard.
She liked the beard.
Yeah,
you got a big beard?
I got a big beard as well. Yeah, I got a big beard.
Like, how big?
No, not that big. No. That's way too big. But I'd say like, literally, my PFP is me, but just the AI version kind of thing. So, like, you know, when you take your picture and you ask ChatGPT to turn it into AI, that's basically that picture there.
Okay, gotcha.
But I didn't want to too much dox myself, if that makes sense. But maybe I will one day. Who knows? Tune in for the sacrifice phase.
Jim Rat is like KR lips. What? Jim Rat likes KR's lips. What the fuck? Yeah, actually, oranges though. All right, you guys want to listen to this? This is an ex-government advisor blowing the whistle about massive underground bunkers. I know we touched on this before, but listen to what she has to say. It's kind of interesting.
And city infrastructure and transportation system that's been built. And
I'm sorry?
Yes. So we have built an extraordinary number of underground bases and supposedly transportation systems. Some of these are documented as part of the national security infrastructure. I think there are many more.
In the United States?
In the United States, and all over the world. From 2021 to 2023, I took one of the smartest subscribers in the Slayer Report network, and he and I spent 2 years collecting all the data and all the allegations on underground bases. We systematically went through and tried to estimate our guess, this is totally a guess, of how many underground bases, both underground in the United States but also underground under the ocean around the United States. And our estimate was 170 with a transportation network connecting them.
And what would be the purpose?
If you thought you were going to get a near extinction event.
Interesting.
Damn. So she goes on a little bit. I watched a few more minutes of it, and she talks about how there's an extinction event about every 10 to 12,000 years on planet Earth. And there's some truth to that, okay? But that's a pretty big span considering most of us only live, 60, 70 years or whatever. But the last extinction event was, guess, how long ago?
I think wasn't it 10,000?
World War II?
Yeah, it was almost 11,000 years ago. I think it was like 8 or 9,000 BC. And obviously that's where we get the flood story from.
Noah's Ark, am I correct?
Didn't they find like these ruins in Turkey, I think it was, where like it was like all underground, and that was like the event. Whoever was around went under the ground and built this underground city kind of. I think they're just uncovering it like recently.
It's an
that was about 11,000 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and it can hold thousands.
So I did see a video today. So I did see a video actually today. I'm not sure what country it was. It was either Turkey or Cyprus or one of them sort of countries, and they found a whole field of these bells under the soil. And it was, they got architects in, and then the architects dug them all up. And apparently these bells were used to heal people.
Yeah.
Many years ago. And like, they'd literally, there was a certain, what's the word when you hear the sound of, what's the word that you use when you hear a certain sound?
Frequency.
Frequency, yeah. These bells all sounded a certain frequency, but that apparently was used to heal people back in the day. But yeah, it was kind of crazy.
If you look at all the cities around the world, there was a lot of bells in a lot of buildings that they removed a long time ago, and yeah, that's what they think, that it was used to heal people with some kind of frequency. But yeah, they removed a lot of bells. Yeah, that's it. The Younger Dryas. That is last extinction event.
So okay, maybe they're saying about 12 to 13,000 years ago. Okay. Because you add that, yeah, we're 2,000 after AD, so yeah, it's about 12, 13,000 years. That was the last one. So technically we're overdue for one. That's the problem.
Well, you see these billionaires like Mark Zuckerberg and others that are building underground bunkers all of a sudden, right?
Yeah, no, he's got a whole city. He's got a whole city with tunnels underground. I mean, not a city, but I mean, for a family, it's like literally a fucking town. There's like multiple residential estates. They're connected by tunnels. There's whole food area. Then on top, above land, there's farms that he's got constructed and everything like that to grow food. It's pretty crazy, man. It's pretty crazy.
There's another really crazy thing. Someone created a map where like it shows the world if there was a big flood,
the underground,
what the world would look like, what all the countries would look like. And it's funny because the areas that are above water, a lot of that land has been bought by Bill Gates.
I've seen that, the map of the U.S., and you can see where the flood would be, and all his land is where it's dry, the higher land he bought. Yeah. And the Hopi talked about this, a Hopi prophecy. When I lived in the Southwest, I'd go out to Hopi land, and it's pretty very beautiful out there. But they built on higher ground, and their prophecy tells about why they built on higher ground, because these things happen continuously, and they have it recorded in the Hopi prophecies that one is coming again, and that they need to build their area on higher ground. And Bill Gates, of course, has been buying only the higher land for farming. So there's a lot of written history about this, of these events that happen every 10 to 12,000 years, and we're certainly overdue. The sun is also weakening. I think these cycles are connected to the sun, and the sun affects the magnetic field of the earth, which is much more powerful than we realize. So maybe they know something's coming, maybe not, I don't know. Hopefully we get a bull run before
Even
that.
in regards to the weather, it has been very strange, if you ask me, recently. Like, for example, 2 weeks ago in Bulgaria, it was full of snow, and it was basically what they have usually in November, December kind of time, right? And then in the UK, it was hot as hell. Like, it was literally pure sun, 25 degrees, and for us in the UK, that's very, very kind of hot, right? But we don't get that weather until summertime, so it was weird for us. And we've even had cases of in the sort of March area where we've had snow kind of thing. So it was very weird in regards to all of this that's going on right now, in regards to the weather all over the world.
Yeah, there's a lot of things connected to this. And I think what the elites are doing is they're using things like HAARP and their, whatever tools they have that we don't even know about, to help amplify it in a way that works in their favor better. So I think they're piggybacking on what's already happening, and they're amplifying it, making it worse in order to move the world around to their liking, What is that? Good God. Can you guys see this? What the hell?
Yeah.
It's like a...
Give me a second. I'm going to be back. I'm just literally going to mute my mic. I need to let my dog out because she's crying by the door. Give me a second.
So you got this whole thing here.
Yeah, there he is. It's like, why would you build that if you weren't preparing for some kind of catastrophe?
For a rave. That's why I would build it.
even if it's not like an event like a flood or something, let's just say like a cyber attack, right?
Yeah.
And you've got no security and you're a billionaire. It's like The Purge. You remember the Purge films?
I've seen one of them. I've only seen like the first one. It's pretty cool though.
Right. So if you're like these billionaires and all of a sudden there's no telecommunications, there's no security, there's no nothing, like you're a sitting duck. So building something like this could definitely prevent you from, danger.
Definitely. There's a lot of reasons you would have one, but he's constructed, it's a beast. It's an enormous complex down there. It's pretty crazy. I mean, when they travel, he has a fleet of yachts that move with him. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I mean, he's created an amazing life for himself, so good for him. Pups, anybody listening out there? We got about 6,000 people listening right now and only 16 likes. Everybody reach forward and smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Justo Flores is asking, he says, tell KR to show his face and Panos. Why, Justo? Do you guys ever show your face?
Yeah, on X.
Okay.
I've got a picture of myself.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't set anything up on here to put any pictures. I will for next time. It's kind of last minute. KR just messaged me and said, do you want to come on? I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's all good with me.
But yeah, on X, you can see what I look like.
So Justo, there you go.
I have a bigger beard than KR.
He's got you guys can see he's got the bigger beard. I'm with you, bro. William Dugan. What's up, brother? How you been? So as you guys know, the power went out in the Iberian Peninsula. And this is what it looked like from above. Right back. Ancient, looks like North Korea, South Korea.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. That is really crazy. What's up, Pookadoo? Good to see you, man.
When did it just happen today?
It happened yesterday. Yeah, it was for 24 hours. It was all out. They lost everything.
Oh shit! So like the same as like Portugal and Spain.
Yeah. And look, wouldn't you know, they are the official sponsor for Agenda 2030.
Interesting.
Who would have seen this coming? I didn't see this one coming. I mean, come on, pups. Spain is literally... Here, there's some videos down here. What the hell is this?
What was interesting about the Spain, Portugal, France blackout was the electricity was down, but the telecommunications was not.
Really?
Which I find quite interesting.
Oh, that is interesting.
Sufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack. Pay in the...
So
he's a step down now. You've seen a new guy.
Yeah, we talked about him on the last stream, the Nestle CEO, the ex-CEO of Nestle. Yeah. So between 2021 and 2022, Spain destroyed 256 dams to restore the natural course of rivers. That may not be that bad, but the bad thing they did is they destroyed all their power plants. So that was bad. Here, I think there's some videos somewhere. Here we go. Net zero blackout blamed for blackout chaos. Now, I think this is just a test run. All right.
Yep.
I think they're just...
Oh, yeah, we spoke about this, bro.
You guys did on Space?
100% test run. Yeah. Something big is coming in the future. 1,000,000%. COVID was something that they tried first, in my opinion. You know, they see at first the lockdowns work to a certain degree, but it didn't work full time, in my opinion, the lockdowns. And so they blacked out. I think this was another test run, and I think something way bigger is coming very soon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
we got
nice.
We got to save Portugal.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know where this came from. Guys, hang on. The mouse is frozen. Pup, sorry about that. Got a stuck mouse here. Free will would say you would choose your reality. That's true, man. That's very true. Oh, I got the mouse back. What's up, pups?
What the hell is going on? In Spain, Portugal, and parts of France, the entire electricity grid is down. Meaning, obviously, nothing is working because in our modern day and age, almost everything that you can imagine is electricity powered. Think traffic lights, think the airports, hospitals hopefully have generators, but imagine the sheer chaos that is unfolding in those nations right now and the lives that it will probably cost. What's going on? Is this a cyber attack, or is it something as innocent as grid failure?
I don't think she has any alpha for us. But listen.
Yeah, I think she was just rambling personally.
Yeah, smash the like button if you want me to make sure these ladies don't get on the screen again. This is the cue to withdraw cash from the ATM, because remember, like even me, sometimes I just don't have cash. It's not smart. And of course, here's what happens. You got to get cash out somehow. But yeah, of course, the only thing that had power were the ATMs. How convenient, right? The banks all had power. Look at this, some crazy lines, man. They had some, this was crazy. People having to get out of the train in the middle of the fields and shit. Why isn't it open? Come here, bud. Can you see this? Imagine trains came to a stop. You're just cruising along and then...
Okay. So...
That's it, man.
Very strange.
Imagine having to get out in the middle of the subway, walking through the dark subway.
Imagine if there's one on the way, like you're just looking and beep, beep, beep. Someone's just beeping at you. There's a big train on the
Yeah, what if it turns on? And then you're like walking in the middle and you've got like a stroller and you're pushing, you got your bags and your kids and... Dude, being the underground when this happened, if you're in a city like New York, Manhattan or something, I mean, even Spain, it's got a ton of pickpockets.
Yes, the pickpocketers are having a lovely day in profit. Their profit and losses on that day is very bullish.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's crazy. Spin was 100% renewable today. They hit all their... what's this? Power came back on after 24 hours.
Even like the traffic lights and stuff, right? Everything. But the thing that bugs me out is how did the telecommunications still work? If the power goes down, does the telecommunications, how did them lines still work? Ain't they powered by electricity, or am I just an idiot for thinking that?
No, it's a good question.
Maybe they had generators.
It's a good question. I mean, no, it's definitely set up. Definitely 100%. I believe so. Portugal says the blackout was caused by a rare atmospheric phenomenon. They're going to blame it on Russia probably eventually.
I was literally about to say that. They're going to blame Russia, bro. It's just missing.
100%, man. Of course they are. It'll come out tomorrow. Putin was behind it. Putin's actors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But Ukraine had their power, but they went and randomly just turned off Spain's and Portugal's power, but they decided to leave Ukraine's on purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, conveniently. Absolutely ridiculous. No, it's interesting. Let's see what else is down here. Yeah, crazy, man. Some crazy stuff.
It's interesting as well. About a month ago in Portugal, on the TV, they were advertising survival kits. And one of our friends, actually, famous, he is in Portugal.
Okay.
And his business partner went and bought a bunch of these survival kits like a month ago. Mm-hmm. And famous was like, "What the fuck are you buying this shit for?" Mm-hmm. And then yesterday, he was just like, "Yep, this is why I bought them." But it's interesting that they were advertising and pushing not only survival kits, they were pushing solar-powered battery packs as well.
Damn, now's the time. I should be selling them. Right. I remember about 2 months ago here, also in Czechia, they were. I don't remember where I saw it, but there was something they were saying for mostly EU or whatever that, make sure you have supplies if something were to happen. And I think I remember this ad campaign you're talking about when they were pushing this. Look at this. This is when I remember this. This is when Biden was in office and they were destroying all the coal plants and the nuclear plants, and people were cheering it on. And I remember thinking, I think I need to get out of these countries.
Yeah. We need more nuclear power, man. Like, especially in Europe. Like, Europe are really against nuclear power, and like now they're fucked. Like, it's so expensive for gas and electricity over there. Yeah. It's just like, well, if you had nuclear power plants, you wouldn't be in the position you're in.
Well, that was a goal, right? To make, I thought, and I think, I'd have to devote a whole stream to this, but the goal is to reduce the living standard of people in the West. And I don't think people understood what, these libtards were up to, because it makes everything more expensive. You know, having cheap power is the reason we get to have the lives we have. And when you make power expensive, everything goes up because you need that power to do everything. Produce chickens, eggs, run a farm, run a train, transportation, freight. Everything goes up dramatically. And your living standard starts plummeting. And your lives become smaller, which is what they want. They want you to have a small carbon footprint and a tiny little life. But if that's what people want, hey, that's fine. That's why we're here in crypto. COVID was practice.
Yeah, COVID was the test run.
Bright Light says telecommunications
100%.
have generator backups for 48 hours from what I know. Well, that's interesting.
I think one of the main things that they got out of COVID was to test people's compliance.
Yes.
And see how far they could push us and what we would accept and what we wouldn't accept. And sadly, we accepted way too much.
100% agree with you.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. 100%.
So I remember Putin had a interview. This was a while back when the war started, and he literally stated, like, Europe are basically screwed.
Yeah.
They have nothing. What are you going to do? And he asked the leaders, like in this interview, he's like, what are you guys going to do? Are you going to burn your COVID masks to keep warm in the future? What are you going to do? You know, I think this was after the... I'm not sure if it was after or before the Nord pipeline, you know, where they bombed it and they destroyed something that they was building for like 5 years, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Europe is really screwed in regards to this, sadly.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. I got in a thing back around 2021, was it? 2022, when the war started, and my friend was shorting the ruble, and he got wrecked. And I was like, and I was like, he's like, yeah, you know, da 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 da, and you know, he's like a strong Biden supporter, and a lot of traders and Wall Street people are actually, but. I remember being like, bro, the country can stand on its own. It's a net energy producer. You know what I mean?
It's always been that way.
Yeah, that's the main. When it comes down to everything, and you take away all our shit, it comes down to, can you produce food and energy? That's the basic two things. Yep. That's for you too. You know, as a human, can you produce energy? Are you healthy? And as a country, in Russia, China, they produce tremendous amounts of energy. They have surplus that they sell to other countries, right? And you can't expect a country like that to be crushed from sanctions because they can produce what they need. You know what I mean? But if you're buying their energy, you're the one who's going to be in trouble, because now where are you going to get your energy from? You know, you have to now build those supply lines, or just pay whatever, you know, whoever's selling it now, right? Unreliable energy failed. What's this? Oh, is this the airports and stuff? Oh, fuck. Oh, flights, everything. I mean, this should be a wake-up call to all of us, right? We're all reliant on the same things, right? Our phones, our energy. Because remember, you can't plug in your phone to charge it, so you have whatever's in there, whatever you have. Somebody said it's fake. Is it fake? Was this all fake? I think Pedro lives in Portugal. He said it was real. He said
yeah, I've had a few people from Portugal and Spain who said it's real. Like, people were stuck in lifts. You know, there was no lights. Like, imagine getting stuck in a lift while this is going on.
It's fucking, because you wouldn't know what's happening, right? You'd just be like,
exactly.
I think fucking nuclear war just
and you
started.
got no signal in lifts as well. Like,
nightmare, dude.
So it's a long day.
Yeah. So this is them 3 years ago destroying their coal power plants, which you would think they would just leave them in case, like, you know, they needed to turn them back on at some point. Interesting. And it turned out none of the turbines were working that day.
Because I've seen something remarkable. These windmills, as far as the eye can see, as far as you can see, hundreds of them.
Jesus.
Hundreds of them.
Is this in the UK?
Northern Spain.
No, northern Spain.
Netherlands is like that too. When you drive through Holland, wind turbines everywhere.
Are they running, like constantly, or are they just sitting there?
Some of them are still. Some of them are running. I don't know if that's due to the wind or what. Like, whenever I drive through there, like I look at them and like some of them are just standing still, and I've always wondered like why they're not moving. Is it?
It's because the wind, they're wind energy, so they rely on wind to run. Basically, if there's no wind, they're not gonna run because that's where they get energy is off the wind. But that's why in the UK you have literally like thousands of them in the water because that's where the most wind is by the sea.
Yeah, it's crazy what's happening in these countries. Some guy's just going through the street with a knife stabbing people. What the fuck? People are going to lose their minds. Crazy, man. Crazy times.
Yeah, Barcelona, like I go to Barcelona quite a bit.
Yeah.
And there's so many pickpocketers there.
Yeah.
Like if you have like a bag around you, you have to keep it in front of you.
Yeah.
Because they're professionals. But I've seen videos of them doing it, and it's just like you'd never know that they've gone through your bag. Or they'll cut it, they'll slice it with like a knife or scissors and just take the bag.
I saw so many pickpocketers in Rome and especially Barcelona, and yeah, it's crazy, man. They're running around in big teams too, so it's tough. Even if you're a tough guy, like you can be distracted. It's hard to relax when you're walking around Barcelona. Depending on what the demand and what can be sold to the open. All right. This is about HAARP really quick. This is cool. I mean, we've talked a little bit about HAARP, but this guy explains it really
1983, I did radio tomography with 30 watts, looking for oil in the ground. I found 26 oil wells over a 9-state area, and 100% of the time was accurate with just 30 watts of power beaming straight into solid rock. HAARP uses 1 billion watts beamed straight into the ionosphere for experiments. Picture these strings on the piano as layers of the earth. Each one has its own frequency. What we used to do is beam radio waves into the ground, and it would vibrate any strings that were present in the ground. We might get a sound back like, and we'd say, that's natural gas. We might get a sound back like, and we say that's crude oil. We were able to identify each frequency. We accomplished this with just 30 watts of radio power. If you do this with 1 billion watts, the vibrations are so violent that the entire piano would shake. In fact, the whole house would shake. In fact, the vibrations could be so severe underground that could even cause an earthquake.
Damn.
I think we've seen it live in action, right? With these all HAARP technology. Like, I mean, I could give one example. When Turkey had their massive earthquake, and it's not a coincidence that Turkey was against Finland, and I think it was Finland and Sweden joining NATO. And because obviously when you join NATO, there's a rule, veto. I think it's called the veto rule, where every single country has to say yes. If one country says no, that means they can't join. Like, it doesn't matter if the rule is overpowered by many countries. If one country says no, that means that they can't join.
Really?
And then randomly, all of a sudden, they end up having a massive earthquake. They needed help in regards to that earthquake because, the structure of the buildings weren't exactly good. And then a couple weeks later, they agreed to let Finland and Sweden join NATO, which I thought was very interesting. And then you also had they had one of the US Navy ships that were hovering around the board. The harbor of Turkey, I think, like weeks before. So it was very interesting and weird at the same time.
Yeah, they got weapons on those ships for sure, 100%. Yo, you guys saying the sound went off? When did you guys lose the whole video? It does. That's some glitch in the eCam. Let me know. You guys want me to play the video again? Did you guys miss that whole thing? Did you guys hear it?
Yeah.
We heard it. I heard it.
Like, doesn't sound good.
I think that's because of the noise that it was actually in the video when they was basically explaining when you hear this.
Oh, okay.
It did kind of sound glitchy, but
okay, I got you.
I might be wrong.
Maybe it was up too high. So yeah. So check this out. An earthquake, I don't know if this is true, I want to fact check it, but an earthquake in Japan uncovered the remains of an ancient giant. Is this true?
Oh, damn.
They're saying it aired live on television, so I don't know. A lot of autistic bros in the audience that probably throw them off. You heard it, but it wasn't clear. Okay. We're going to go look at charts. Go see what's going on in the charts. What's this? Cool. There is some kind of pulse chain stream tonight. You guys should we peek in and see what they're talking about?
Who's streaming?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's streaming?
It says it's called a power stream. I don't know who it is. Let's find out. Let's check it out. Stock Market Live.
Power stream? Interesting.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay. Fast Abdul, yeah.
I think it's a little too late in the game or a large project, too much to ask to pull that information and throw it into a debank scenario. I think everybody in crypto uses debank.
My debank. So tell me, you guys, really cool. We're gonna look at some charts. I'm curious. You guys are over here on Pulse Chain. Did you guys come from Hex, or did you just come from Pulse Chain?
I mean, I've been in crypto since like 2014, 15.
Okay.
So like, I've come from Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. I play on all chains.
Okay.
And I to be honest, I've been following Richard Hart for a long time, like 2017 days. I did claim my free Hex when Hex launched from my Bitcoin I was holding, but I never really got too heavy into it. I was traveling at the time. I was living in Mexico. I was like really I wasn't looking at the markets too much. I was involved. I was invested, but I wasn't actively looking. So I didn't get too much into Hex. But when I heard he was launching a blockchain, I thought, you know what, I want to get into this. I didn't sacrifice because I've done a lot of private sales in the past. So when I saw like how much money was raised and it was uncapped and there was no vesting periods, I just thought, you know what, I'll probably get a better entry after launch, which I did. So
Nice.
I have been in since the beginning, but not on launch. It was pretty much after the SEC fell.
So say that part again, so people can understand. They can learn from that. So when you saw that there was no vesting period, so people could sell. What that means, a vesting period, it's like when people put into a company or business or an investment into a startup, there's a vesting period, meaning that you can't sell your investment until a certain period of time has elapsed.
Correct. With crypto launches, it's typically 12 to 18 months, depending on the project. But I was involved in about 15 private sales in the past, where like we got in just after the VC. So like VCs are always in first, and then I was in a syndicate of guys. There was about 10 of us that were getting allocations in certain projects. So we would get in just after VCs. And the way it would work is like we would get an allocation. It could be like, 10 grand, for example. Like we could each put 10K in. And then we would have a vesting period where we'd get like 10% of our tokens on launch. And then the rest of it distributed over 12 to 18 months. And what I realized playing that game was that the projects that done the best had a cap on the investment. So like with Pulse Chain, it was like unlimited, right? And that's why he raised so much money. The projects that were capped at a certain amount done better because when they launch, they're at a lower valuation.
Right.
A lot of projects, when they launch, they're overvalued. Even Pulse Chain was way overvalued at launch. And that's because it was an uncapped pre-sale.
Got you.
And another really important thing is the vesting period. So like when a token launches after pre-sale, even the VCs, they're vested, so they can't dump. They get in at such a low price anyway. It doesn't really matter. But with Pulse Chain, because of the decentralized nature of it, Richard Hart couldn't send out SAFT agreement contracts and do all this stuff, right? It was completely decentralized. So I understand why it was that way, but I've got enough experience to understand that it's going to be overvalued at launch and it will come down. And the fact that there's no vesting periods is also like, you know, like people they will talk shit about Solana, where they're like, oh, it's a VC chain, it's VC, they're dumping money, they're dumping money. Yeah, true. But you see all the unlock schedules, you know exactly when those coins are being released. And what can potentially be dumped.
I love VCs.
You don't see that on chain.
I love VCs.
Yeah. VCs are amazing.
They're amazing.
They bring so much money to the ecosystem.
You know,
and you kind of have VCs on Pulse Chain, right? Like, you know, like Overwatch is pretty much VCs, right?
What's Overwatch?
There are
Overwatch
VCs.
partners. Oh, that's
the
Dubai people.
Yeah, they're like Rackham and the Dubai guys. That company, they're basically a VC company, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So they're technically not a VC, but they kind of are.
Yeah.
But like on Pulse Chain, you have whales that you don't really even know who they are, that don't have a vesting period. You don't know when they're going to dump their tokens. So, you know, it's like a toss-up. Do you want VCs? Like, yeah, there's negatives to it. Or if you don't have them, there's also negatives to it. But for me, I was just like, I'm going to get into this after launch. And I actually got lucky because the SEC FUD happened. And that's when I really started to DCA because I'm like, right, 70% discount, I'll take that.
Damn, bro.
Right?
Yeah. Nice, man. That's some good foresight. That's really good foresight right there, man.
Even now, I'm on loads of different chains. Like I'm not just in Pulse Chain, but I'll tell you one thing. I spend most of my time in this community because it's hands down the best community.
Why?
Like,
Why
I have
is it
so
the best?
much fun. There's a lot of really smart people in this community. I have a lot of fun in this community. And I just think there's a lot, if this thing works out, which I think it will, there's a lot of opportunity, and we're like in on the ground floor.
Yeah.
It's like being in on Ethereum in the first cycle, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of my story.
Cool. And Panos, you care to share?
Yeah, so that was Panos.
Okay.
So I got into crypto when the COVID dip happened.
Yeah.
That's when I first got into crypto.
Yeah.
I bought coins like Doge, XRP, EOS. I think it was EOS. There was another one that was similar to them sort of coins. And yeah, I started kind of holding them bags. You know, I bought the dip, so like within 2 weeks my money doubled, then it doubled again, then it just XRP still had, like, even though XRP didn't really have a crazy cycle last cycle, it's still done a 6-7x from the bottom, if not more. So, you know, I see all of them gains, and then my friend told me about BNB. Ended up getting on BNB using Trust Wallet. I was on Reddit. I wasn't on X. I wasn't on Telegram. I was just on Reddit, you know, trying to hunt for the meme coins, and then obviously got into many pre-sales. You know, you had the King Sheba one that done well, Bonfire, another coin that I got into done really well. And yeah, and then towards the end of the cycle, I remember Doge was my biggest bag. And, you know, Doge was pumping. I got in at like just below 0.5 cent. And yeah, it got to, it got really, really big. And I remember watching the Elon Musk SNL show at the time live, and I was like, oh my, well, he was featured on the SNL show, Saturday Night Live show, I think it was. Yeah. And apparently he was going to talk about Doge, and it was going to explode, it was going to go to $1. Yeah. That was the narrative last cycle, that Doge was going to go to $1, right? Yeah. And I'm there holding my bags, I'm there to my bros, like, look how much money I've made, like, this shit's going to go up, I'm excited. Boom, as soon as he come on, I'm watching the stream. My Doge bags, bro, they're just going down. They started going down. That was the top. That was literally the biggest top signal in the world. Yeah. But at the time, I was new to crypto, so I didn't really understand this, right? Yeah. You know, the market started slowly kind of going down from then on. Yeah. We was kind of going into a bear market. Then you had the Luna crash happened, right? And one of my friends called me. He's like, bro, you need to buy a Luna. Luna's just dumped hard. I've just made a 3x on it. Buy it, buy it. I was emotional thinking back then. So what I done was I literally put everything I had, all my XRP, all my Doge, everything, all into Luna. Within a minute, I see a 2x. I was like, oh my God, wow, this shit's gonna go. Within 3 minutes, I was at $50. And I went from nearly 6 figures to $50, and then literally to pennies. Yeah, it was tough. Bro. It was tough, and I was like, fuck this shit. No. Then my friend started saying about Hex kind of thing, and I started researching. He told me about Hex, and I looked up Richard Hart. I was on his Instagram, because back then he had Instagram. And I liked his vibe personally. So I liked the whole fuck you, you're broke, you can't do this kind of thing, you're brokey, I can do this, but you can't, I worked hard kind of thing. I like that vibe about him.
Right.
I like the watches he had, right? I love watches. I'm a big fan of watches. And when I see the Rainbow Daytona factory set, I was like, okay, this guy is business, right? That's the way I thought. And then I started DCAing into Hex. I sold my own watch because I had a Rolex at the time as well. I sold some jewelry. And I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to put all of this into crypto.
Yeah.
Started buying Hex on the way down. So I bought, first entry was around 27 cents.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was buying on the way down. Started doing more research, learned about Hedron, bought a bit of Hedron. But sadly they all went to shit. I ended up buying coins like Pulse Bitcoin. I remember Pulse Bitcoin was on Ethereum.
Yeah.
There was UP on Ethereum. So I just wanted the copies because I missed the sacrifices. So I didn't get into the Pulse X sacrifice. I didn't get into the Pulse sacrifice. I was late. Right. But I wanted the copies because then I felt like I had value on the chain, because obviously people told me that, you know, you're going to get the same amount on that chain. I was like, okay, this is interesting. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but sure. And at the time, my ETH portfolio was doing actually all right. You know, Pulse Bitcoin was pumping. There was UP was nice. Yeah. Sadly, people must have had the inside information when the snapshot was taken, because as soon as that snapshot was taken, everything dumped hard. Every coin that was, you know, people wanted copies of, dumped really, really hard. So it was like there was some sort of inside info going on.
There's definitely insiders in all crypto.
Yeah. But yeah, and then day 3 come. I think it was day 3. That's when the bridge opened between Hex and E-Hex and P-Hex.
Yeah.
I just bridged over all my E-Hex, bought P-Hex, and started just degenerating away kind of thing. I lost a lot of money in the beginning. I didn't know what I was buying, you know. I thought I was buying a Doge. I thought it was the real Doge, and then it just went down tumbling from when I bought it.
Welcome to crypto.
It was kind of... Yeah, it was horrible, bro. At first, it was really horrible. I mean, there was some coins I did do well. Like I bought P-Maker very early. I bought pDAI very early. I think I was paying like $27 per million pDAI.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, nice. Yeah, it was really, really early. Maker I bought under $2. You know, this was on the first run. Obviously, now it's kind of dead. But on the first, I think it went up to $25, maybe more. I'm not sure. It was $50 even, $60. But yeah, and then obviously... That's my journey. I've been here since the beginning, since Pulse Chain launched, but I didn't sacrifice. And yeah, it's been cool.
Yeah, right on, man. Right on. You obviously learned a lot. Well, how did you? I mean, you learned the hard way, obviously, by losing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's how you learn in crypto, and we all lost a lot, man. It's brutal, and if you survive, though, you can do well, because then you see how this stuff moves and how it plays out. And
bro, my girl was gonna leave me because I just kept putting money into crypto. Like after Hex, like when I was DCAing, she was like, "What are you doing? You just lost so much money, and you're putting more money into this shit. Your money's just gonna go again."
Your girl said that to you?
And it was like, yeah. She was just like, "You're gonna lose it all again. You're gonna lose it all again." Everyone, my friends were telling me, "You're retarded. You had so much money, and now it's all gone. Like, why are you putting more in?" But it's crazy because then the last couple of months, you know, like. All them people that told me I was retarded and I shouldn't be buying no more, like I've lost all my money, or calling me like, "Hey man, you was right, bro. Like, fuck, I should have bought. You think it's a good time to buy now?" I'm like, bro, you want to buy when the charts are up 5x, when Bitcoin's up 5x? Like, I was telling you to buy when Bitcoin was 16K, 17K. But yeah, it's just funny how, you know, the human mind works in regards to this, and you know, it's always the same shit.
Yeah, it's still very mysterious. You know, you remember how it was when you came. It was this very mysterious world, and you got to learn it all. You know, and then how did you two meet each other? You two are like inseparable now, right?
We were in a group chat on Telegram together. That's how we kind of connected. But at first, I'm pretty sure I blocked KR out at some point.
Yeah, we had our issues at first.
Did you?
Yeah, me and Panos had issues.
So it was like a real bromance, huh? It's like the real thing.
It wasn't even that we knew each other back then, but it was more he was trolling someone or trolling a certain project.
Yeah.
And I was a big fan of this project because I made a lot of money on the project, right? So I think I dropped a comment underneath it or something, and he ended up blocking me. But then yeah, and then afterwards I was kind of getting onto GoPulse. Yeah, it was GoPulse. I was getting onto GoPulse, arguing with them about, you know, that they gatekeep coins, they don't list nothing. Like, you go look at that bubble map, and like 72% of that bubble map is all scams and $12 liquidity. And you know, when you're looking from an outside perspective, if GoPulse is meant to be an onboarding tool, it's not really looking good for Pulse-Chain, right? They ended up blocking me, but Panos see it, and then he was like, "Oh, you know what? Like, yeah, why is this coin not listed? Like, he's done multiple X's and it's not listed. Like, I'm confused. What's going on here?" But yeah, they ended up blocking me anyway, GoPulse, because of that.
Really?
And yeah, and then yeah, we joined the Telegram group, and then it was we just vibed from there. And then like we just randomly with the spaces, we just randomly started. It was all to do with like basically when the whole pDAI started, the FUD, the Minter, and all of this. And we kind of was on the vibe of, you know, non-biased, not bag biased kind of thing. Like, both parties can come up and speak, you know, one can debate the other. And at first we was kind of like on the side of, you know, on the sideline. But then when Richard Hart come out with certain things, it was like kind of common ground what was going on kind of thing, right? And yeah.
We also had information before Richard Hart even put the info out. We had all that information. As we were getting info, we didn't know what was true and what wasn't, but we started looking on chain and confirming a lot of what we were being told about it being minted and bridged out. We saw that was all true, so we started covering that, and we got a lot of hate from it.
Yeah, you
right?
guys were 24/7. You guys were going hard. I remember that week. That's when I really discovered you guys, and I was very sick that week, and I was intense week, man. You guys just didn't sleep either. It was really impressive. You guys kept the latest alpha coming nonstop. So congrats to you guys for that, man. We were just trying to cover everything because there was a lot of misinformation. Yeah.
There still is now.
It never went away. We still don't have information.
No, I mean, there's always been misinformation around pDAI.
Yeah, always. From
the very beginning. Like, I've been quite critical of it, even though like, I made money on pDAI. I got a bag pretty early. And the reason I got a bag was not because I believed it was going to peg to $1, because from my experience, to me, that was not ever going to happen. And I never believed Richard Hart was behind it, but because the community was so passionate, I thought I'm going to put my money on this community because they're very passionate. But I was always one person that was like, as a meme coin, this thing could be amazing, but it's not going to ever be collateralized and pegged to $1. So that was always my stance on it.
Okay.
But when I had enough of debating people about that, I was like, let it be. A couple times. I mean, when I really realized that this thing was like the narrative was cooked was when they done the vote proposal, and I looked into the transactions, and like I could see that these people were lying, and I kind of like called them out.
Which people?
Decentralized Me and 99 Capital.
They were lying.
Like, well, maybe they weren't, like maybe they were misled, but they were putting out false information saying that Richard Hart minted the PMA card, the 36.9 PMA card, and then voted and said "Milady." When anyone that understands how to use DBank could go and have a look and see that it was nothing to do with Richard Hart. It wasn't connected to Richard Hart. It was some random shitcoiner that bought the 36.9 PMA, didn't mint it, bought it on another wallet, sent it to another wallet, then voted yes and left the word "Milady." So on chain, you could see that like what they're telling us is complete bullshit. I mean, I kind of knew that was going to happen anyway. I thought they were going to run some kind of BS to try and like convince people, look, Richard Hart is voting. But anyone with like any basic knowledge of like looking on chain can see it was nonsense. And that's when I started like scaling out of my position at that point, because I'm like, yeah, no, the narrative's cooked now. But when we started the spaces, we just really wanted to like give people factual information about what was going on, because there was someone minting or a group of people minting, and they were bridging out hundreds of thousands of dollars a week.
Millions of dollars, bro. Millions. It was $4 million in a week. It was $4 million that got bridged out in a week.
They
ramped 5% of the TVL of the whole chain.
They really ramped up the minting and bridging out when we started talking about it. So like our whole thing was not like we're not trying to FUD it. We're trying to help people because there's a lot of people that have a lot of money in it. Not just including like retail people. There's whales in this ecosystem that we know that were like on the fence still, and then we had to present them this information. But like, look, we know you've got big liquidity pools with this. Take a look at this before you decide what you want to do. But like we're telling you, this is bad.
Right.
And I think we helped a lot of people realize, and then they removed their liquidity and saved themselves from getting destroyed. That we were just covering the news and the facts, not the speculation, the facts, while other people were speculating. And then after Richard Hart even come out and started tweeting about it, it was like people just got even more bullish on it. I couldn't really understand what was going on. It was insane, but we just kind of kept the stance of like, look, like if you want to speculate, but this and this is going on.
Yeah.
And at some point, because we had Alex from Hedron, Alex, the developer from the Hedron developer.
Mm-hmm.
We had him on the spaces. He's a really smart guy. And we asked him, we was like, how can this minting be stopped, right? Because no one else was able to do it. But no one was able to stop it. So Alex said, look, there's a thing called the ESM, which is emergency shutdown module, that can be called if flop auctions are activated and someone can win a certain amount of these auctions, then they can trigger what's called an ESM and completely shut the maker down and stop the minting. So we knew it was only a matter of time that somebody done that. And we was watching the flop, the debt ceiling. So the debt ceiling had to get to 0 before flop auctions could open. So we were watching the debt ceiling, and we was talking about it every day on Spaces. And what would happen was, as it started dropping, whoever was minting was doing something to raise it again, to stop flop auctions from triggering and happening.
Right.
But once they happened, which was like a couple of weeks ago, we were like, okay, so now someone's able to then trigger ESM. If they win enough auctions, they can trigger the ESM. And Giga actually come out on the space and said, look, if someone triggers ESM, it's gonna send pDAI to they're gonna mint and destroy the price. And also with pMaker, they're gonna destroy the price of pMaker. And that's exactly what happened. So now pDAI can't be minted anymore.
Okay.
Which is great.
That's great.
But now the whole pDAI peg into a dollar narrative is like completely dead in the water. There's nothing anyone can say now to, try and convince anyone that can happen, because the whole system, the MakerDAO system, is completely shut down, and there's no reviving it.
Right.
So, I mean, we covered all of that. I think we weren't live. Yeah, we might have been live on the space when that happened. When it was the XUSD team, right? It was Katrina and Surfacing that triggered the ESM and basically shut the whole system down.
Yeah.
But then even after the system got shut down, there was, according to people, there was going to be an Easter resurrection because of Richard Hart's post. But yeah, it's hilarious because it all started from the prayer sessions. We started the prayer sessions on the spaces, and it was crazy because, no joke of a lie, like we'd pray and then randomly that same hour or that same night a prayer would be answered. Like Richard Hart came out of a tweet he made, but then he obviously puts question marks, so people are questioning why I put question marks. So we prayed for clarity, and then the next day it comes out of a whole thread telling people exactly what's going on, and it was just like, yeah, it was hilarious. And then we see, the funniest one was when we prayed about Richard Hart selling pDAI, and he went on to pool liquidity and dump a lot of tokens, but he gave people a warning, right? So he pulled the LP, he sent them to a new wallet, and he kind of left them for a couple of hours. And yeah, it was crazy. But due to our spaces, people got a 99% opportunity to buy in, compared to like where it was before. So I know there was a lot of people that were going, hey, guys, I'm buying more due to our posts and things like this. And it was just, okay, you're buying more now, but you could have bought when, you know, because as soon as the ESM got killed, we said on the space, we stated on the space that you can buy now kind of thing. Like there's no more minting. There's no more. At first there was a worry of the 11 billion that was hidden away in the vaults, but then when Catty come out in regards to saying, you know, oh, that's in her vault and she burnt it.
Yeah.
You know, anyone who was in our space at the time got over a 50x on pDAI Tropo if you played it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, yeah. I mean, I've got a nice big bag of pDAI. If it pegs, oh Lord have mercy. You know, like I'd have enough money to buy a whole city. But we'll see if it actually happens. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I'm all for these guys pushing and pumping my bags, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. So the story's still going, right?
Yeah, I mean, the narrative is still going to a certain degree, right? Like they have a cult. You know, pDAI does have a cult. Yeah. Cults are kind of bullish in crypto when you think, even if Richard Hart is not behind it, the cult is bullish in crypto. And I do think they will, I don't think he'll get to $1, but you got to think, right? And this is what I always said. pDAI can go to $1 with or without Richard Hart. Mm-hmm. And the way I see this is how successful is his chain going to be. If Pulse does 100x and pDAI is at a cent and it needs, I don't know, 100x as well, if no one sells, Hart's Law will bring you up to $1. If it does a 200x, you know, you're going to get to pDAI to $1.
Yeah.
But then if they're sellers or bad actors, right, you might have a problem. If you start seeing core coins go up and pDAI is kind of staling away, you know, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to think, oh shit, I need to jump ship. I've been in the wrong coin. Look, the cores are going up and pDAI, but I don't see that happening, to be fair, unless people sell, you know, Hart's Law, how it works. If there's no sellers, it works. Yeah. But if there's sellers.
Yeah. All right. And
there's a lot of people that thought, you know, we was fudders of people. Bro, I was bull posting pDAI from ages ago. I was very bullish on pWBTC, very bullish. And I used to think that narrative is way better than the pDAI narrative.
Oh, that's still a great narrative. And I never thought you were funny, but I guess the spaces just got pretty heated for a while. So, you know, and there was a lot of emotions in the beginning. I have a personal, I have a question to ask both of you. I think Chad will appreciate it too. But you guys got to smash that like button. We've got about 9,000 people watching right now. We only have 90 likes right now on stream, which is not even possible mathematically. So let's get those likes up. You guys give me can I take 2 minutes? I'll be right back. Can you guys handle the chat for a second?
Yeah, we got you, bro.
Okay, I'll be right back. Give me a sec.
What is that chart in the background there, KR? Can you see? Is that DAI? Yeah, that's the DAI.
Yeah, I think it's DAI.
Look at that wick, bro. Like that, the people that bought that bottom of that wick, if you managed to catch that, that was a trade of a lifetime.
50x, I think. 50x. I'm not sure, but I took some profits when it, you know, it killed a zero, but I still have a big bag. But I love pDAI. I'm not pDAI. I love pWBTC. I still hold my bag of pWBTC. I think it's going to do well. It depegged from pDAI recently and was pumping while pDAI was kind of like in the same sort of zone. So I do think there's some hope for pWBTC, definitely. 100%.
Yeah, that's been doing really well recently as well. It's kind of decoupled from pDAI.
What's going on in the general market right now?
Bro, it's just fucking shit, bro. Like apart from the ecosystem we discovered recently, everything else is going down.
How's the general market? Ethereum, Bitcoin? I've not looked.
Bitcoin is kind of just sideways, 94,600. Ethereum just under 1,800. It's struggling to get past this little. I've on my chart, I've got a line here. It's a Fibonacci line on Ethereum, which is at $1,820, and it's just since for a while now, it's been struggling. When it broke below it back in April, so there was a breakdown from that support in April 25th, and we just recently come up and retested it April. April. It broke down April 6th, and we've just started. We retested on April 25th. We tested it again on April 26th. We tested it again on the 28th, and we tested it again today. It broke above it, and then it's back below it again. So that's like a resistance level that we really need. Ethereum needs to break above. I would say like a clean break above like 1850 to 1860. And then
Monero's killing it, bro.
Monero,
yeah, but you know why, bro? You know why Monero's killing it? Because someone, I think it was a hack. Someone got a bunch of BTC somehow with a hack, and they're just funneling it into Monero right now.
Yeah, it went up to $350 per Monero. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a sick pump.
How's the ETH BTC ratio looking at currently?
It's actually, I mean, it's still shit compared to like, you know, what we want it to be.
Does it look bottomed out though, or does it look like it could go further down?
I don't know, bro. I think it might even go back down and revisit. The bottom was 0.017. We're sitting at 0.0189. I don't know, bro. Like, it could have bottomed there, but again, it's a bit hard to tell right now. It's kind of just going sideways today. It did have a nice bounce from the bottom though. Like, it did bounce quite nicely up from the bottom, so it could be flagging here, like bull flag, and then we might go higher. But I don't know, man. I try not to call the bottom of ETH BTC ratio because it just keeps going down and down and down. Every time I think it's bottomed, I've been wrong. So,
I got a question for you guys. Pups, you got to smash the like button. Let's get those likes up. And we'll come and look at that ETH BTC ratio. I'll pull it up right now. So, let's see. Yeah. Got down to my target. He had 2019, it was down to 0.016, if I remember correctly. 0.016. Yeah, it's at 0.018-ish. It had gotten to. Now it's at 0.019-ish.
We might potentially see a bounce here.
Yeah, we're definitely
maybe
a bounce.
We're lucky.
I was hopefully we get.
There is some breaking news that might affect our crypto, though.
What is it? What'll happen?
Pakistan have just claimed that India's gonna attack in 12 to 18 hours. I think it was.
What?
Something along them lines. Yeah, apparently Pakistan and India might be going to war.
Who? Wait. How do they know they're about to attack?
Watcher Guru posted it.
Watcher Guru just posted it, so they've announced.
Yeah.
Yo, we got another guest in the green room. What's up, buddy? Let me punch in. You ready? Okay, hang on one sec. Long time no see. Got an old friend here. Did we get some likes? One person smashed the like button. You guys are kidding me tonight. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
Is everybody wanking? Okay, hang on. I got to set it up for a third person. Hang on. You got a free hand. I know it doesn't take two hands. Y'all ain't that big. Smash that like button. Give me 1 sec. Where we at? Okay, give me that. And there you go.
Am I in the metaverse?
You're in, buddy. How you doing, man? What's up, Pedro? How you been?
I'm good, and you guys? How are you doing, Saint? Long time no see. KR.
GM.
Panos.
GN, I think where you are.
Yeah, Portugal. Actually, it's nice.
It's always GM. It's always GM. You got to respect the culture. It's always GM.
Always. How are you guys doing, man?
Doing great,
Good,
buddy.
man.
Yeah, yeah. Were you catching a little bit of the stream? We were talking about pDAI.
Just a little bit. Before hopping on, I was putting the the babies to sleep, basically. Before.
Good, man. Yeah, it's great to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time, buddy.
Likewise, man.
A lot's happened. It's been very dramatic times.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, before
let me just say something really quick,
yeah.
if I can. KR and Panos, congratulations on the Twitter Spaces that you guys have been doing, because it's very good, it's amazing, and you've been getting a lot of attention. I think you guys deserve it. Also, Giga and Habibi, of course, but they're not here, so please send them my regards.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's been pretty awesome. Before I ask the question to them about the spaces, really quick, how are you hanging over there in Portugal, man? How was it with the blackouts?
Oh man, it was a bit crazy, to be honest. Nobody was ready, I guess. I was a bit lucky because the internet went out basically. So I went to check the lights and everything on the building, and I noticed that everything was down, right? So I was on Twitter and I realized that everybody was in Portugal was having the same issue. So I literally ran into the shop before anybody else. I was a bit lucky on that front if there was something bad happening, I guess. But but it wasn't expected. Yeah, it wasn't expected.
Right. Okay, but everyone's okay.
Yeah, everything is okay. Yeah, sure, absolutely.
How did your fellow Portuguese feel about what happened? Was everybody believing the narrative? Did you guys have some insights about it?
The narrative here is that there was a technical issue in south of France, something like that, right?
You blamed it on the French, you fuckers.
Yeah, we blamed it on the French, actually, not even the Spanish. It was it's the French. I think it's 50-50, right? Even imagine. Even the people who believe that, they know that there was something else, right? Everybody kind of understands. How can I put this? At least it started the conversation of Portugal not being, energy dependent, I guess, which was good. But nobody's actually thinking about the root cause, right? They're just on the surface. So, it is what it is.
What's the root cause?
I mean, this was obviously planned, right?
I think.
I think you guys were discussing that on the chat. So it's similar to the other thing, right? 4 years ago. So I mean, there's very few people on Twitter actually saying that, right? I saw a couple, but not many, to be honest.
Yeah. I hear you, man. Well, it's good to hear everything's all right. It's definitely seems like a warm up for more fun times to come, I guess.
Yeah. We were just the test subjects, basically.
We were the test subjects.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, welcome everybody to the show at St. Wolf Vision. We got KR, Panos, and Pedro on tonight. It's quite a show. I know most of you guys are watching out there from X, so thanks for joining us. Come to the Telegram at St. Wolf Vision. We got a lot of cool stuff in there. A lot of cool alphas about to be dropped. Some big announcements are coming really soon, so definitely get in there. A question I wanted to ask you guys back to the pDAI thing, Karen, Panos, whichever one of you guys want to take it, is, so what's your take on, because I heard different perspectives from different people that were in the group consistently. You probably know what I'm going to ask, but what's your take now on 414 dev? Is that too heavy?
You want to take that one?
Is that too heavy? But
Panos, do you want to take that one?
What's going on? Yeah.
Well, all I'll say is you judge people by their actions, right?
Right.
So what we saw when, obviously we saw Maria skits out a bit when the whole pDAI minting information come to light, and sold a bunch of coins, Teddy, Atropa, live on stream as well, right?
I saw that.
So, I will say, you're entitled to sell your bags, right? Especially if you're telling people you're selling your bags as well, there's something to say about that. The one thing I didn't agree with was minting treasury bill, then selling.
Yeah.
That was a bit Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. Like, if you want to sell your bag, you sell your bag. You're entitled to do so. But since then, Maria has renounced ownership of Treasury bill, and if I'm not sure if it's verified now. Someone can correct me on that. But you know, I will say, when it comes to that ecosystem, if you want to speculate on it, it might be a good time because it has sold off quite a lot, as pDAI was heavily attached to it. But as far as like the 414 founder, it's in the future and moving forward. He's done some things I didn't like I said, the minting and then dumping, I wasn't a fan of. But I mean, I don't want to say or talk too much shit about him, because you know, he could do good for the ecosystem, for his ecosystem. Like, I know he's bridged out a lot of money. He could bring that back in and put that back into his ecosystem. I think that's like what he's saying he's going to do. So when people say they're going to do things, I like to give them the benefit of the doubt and not just be like, oh, they're never going to do that. Like when people are saying, oh, the guy who's minting pDAI is going to bridge it back in, well, I think that's stupid, because we don't even know who that person is, and how do we know he's going to do that? But when it comes to Maria and saying, well, I'm going to bridge these funds back in and buy back Atropa and this and that, okay, cool. Well, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's see if you do that, right? Okay. So that's kind of my.
But if you're going to be bullish on pDAI, then you kind of have to be bullish on the Atropa dev too, right? Or no? Why isn't this working here?
I mean, I'm not particularly bullish on pDAI. I think I'm bullish on the fact that it can't be minted anymore, but I think it's lost a lot of its following and its cult due to the fact that, you know, the $1 pegging narrative is dead in the water at this point. So I mean, I think it's going to go up. But am I as bullish as I was before on it? No. And I don't think I don't think that will prevent a Atropa ecosystem from going up, because even though there is some bonding there, and Maria does hold a lot of pDAI, I think it can kind of do its own thing. And we saw that, like when pDAI sold off, Treasury bill, Atropa, like all that, a lot of that pDAI was being sold into the Atropa ecosystem, right? So the people were dumping their pDAI bags into Atropa. So I don't think it's as heavily bonded anymore. Or it won't be as heavily correlated, I should say. I think Atropa could go up, and pDAI will go up with it, but maybe not as hard. I think there's probably more energy focused on the Atropa ecosystem than pDAI these days.
Gotcha. And what do you think about their intentions? And really quick, guys, I got some new guests. I'm going to go ahead and click them in while you're speaking. Hope you don't mind. But what do you think their intentions are overall good, or they're just a loose cannon, or what are you getting from
them? I mean, definitely a loose cannon. I mean, unpredictable. You know, definitely done some unpredictable things. But like, as far as intentions go, I don't know. It's too early to tell. You know.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So you can see it from two different perspectives, right? You can see it from the perspective of being a maxi in that ecosystem and thinking, oh, they dumped their coins to thin the liquidity out on purpose, so that this minter couldn't extract as much as they could before, right? Because when you sell coins, the liquidity goes down, you're selling through that liquidity pool. So you could see it in that way from a maxi's perspective. But then you can see it from the outside perspective, which is, hold up, they just minted a bunch of tokens and nuked it on their followers' heads, right? Which, you know, is not really as ethical as, you know, when you hear dev selling, it's never ethical, right? Like, it doesn't matter what they're selling for. It just doesn't sound good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it depends on what way you're looking at it, from what side you're looking at it. It's a very difficult situation, and it's no one knows what goes through Maria's heads, right? Like even in regards to the streams and the whole crashing out on the streams, saying Boris Johnson took the rifles, and Boris Johnson's behind the mint.
Kentucky, to be sure. That's important part. From a cabin in Kentucky, I think.
But yeah, depends how you see things. Everyone sees things differently, right?
But you
do you think that ETH is coming back?
The thing is, right? We don't know if it's already back or not, right? Like, I mean, I've not. Has anyone looked at the wallets? Is it still in ETH, sitting in ETH, or has anyone seen what that money is doing currently?
I rely on you guys. I join your spaces because you guys are always knee deep in knowledge when it comes to this stuff. You guys are following those wallets like nobody's business. I appreciate you guys for doing that stuff.
Yeah, I've not looked into the wallet myself. I mean, I could even let me have a look now, furthermore. Let's have a look. What wallet was it that they dumped from? Is the question.
Are you looking at Maria's wallets? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't even looked at it myself, to be honest.
Yeah, I haven't spent any time on that, but like a 5-hour dump session and bridging off, like he could have done that different. He could have dumped pDAI if that was his goal and then bought back his own token. Like, there would have been lots of ways to do that in a more beneficial way for the community, I suspect. Though maybe he has a master plan that I don't know about.
Because people are still saying...
consulted with him lately.
People are still saying, conspiracy crypto says 100% planned PSYOP. Does that still hold for you guys, or no? You're past it now.
Yeah, I don't think so. No.
You don't think it was PSYOP? Oh, that's not the one.
No. I think it was like a action reaction. That was it.
Interesting.
Well, the funny thing is, in regards to this, we actually have someone who. So I met Maria in Amsterdam when I went to the Amsterdam conference. And someone we know was kind of speaking to them on a more closer vibe. They followed that ecosystem quite thoroughly.
Okay.
And they ended up getting their number.
I know who you're
And they
talking
spoke to... Yeah, and I've seen the screenshots. These are not fake screenshots, by the way. Like, he's generally been in contact with the Tropa dev. And it was... From the messages, it was like they had no clue what was going on.
Do you think that the person that they were communicating with, and I think I know who the person is, do you think that they're on good terms, or do you think the developer was feeding this person what they wanted to hear, or what suited their narrative they were building?
Well,
or do you think it was a genuine conversation? I guess is what I'm asking.
I think it was a genuine conversation, but at the same time, like you can think two things, right? And it's very. It's a touchy subject, but from what I see, and I've seen plenty of messages between them in the past, it looked genuine to a certain degree.
Right.
This is what come down even to our pDAI space. Not pDAI. I don't want to call them pDAI spaces because they weren't pDAI spaces. They were at first. It was just in regards to letting the community know what's going on. But there's two things. There's facts and there's speculations. Right? And sometimes it's better to just look at the facts than the speculations, in my opinion, personally. Right? When money is getting bridged off the chain and the chain's going lower, and $4 million is a lot of money, right? I think it was more above like around $10 million they extracted altogether. There was people saying 50 million, but that's including with burnt liquidity and things like this. So I think the real number was around $9 million, right? That's facts. That's not speculation. That's facts. The fact that P-Maker got ESM'd and the minting stopped, that's not a speculation. That's facts. Did the chart dump 99%? Yes, that's facts. That's not a speculation. Once again, So it's hard to kind of, can't.
People have bag bias, right? Like if you're into something, you want to think the best, which is totally understandable. But like there's, sometimes when something's so complicated that you can't understand, it's because you're not supposed to be able to understand, and that is, you know, that is how some of these things play out.
Hmm. And what did you guys? Yeah, Kara, I was just talking about the big Zoom one, because that one comes direct feed right from Zoom.
I see that.
I can't.
I see that.
But
I'm gonna sort that after this stream.
And what about because 414 Dev was working very closely with the new dev that kind of came on the scene, Caddy.
Surfacing, actually.
Surfacing and Caddy, right?
So,
those are their names?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, they're working very closely together. So if you trust one or don't trust it, you kind of have to trust the whole team because they work very close, right?
So this is the thing. XUSD, in my opinion, is a complete different project to the Tropers ecosystem, right? Yes, they had pDAI as a liquidity pool.
Yeah.
I think that was just because, you know, they wanted to ride it up with the gains of pDAI. But from what I understand, they're two completely different protocols. Surfacing was kind of, from what he explained, now Panos, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but he was basically like more of a sniper at first than someone who worked with Maria. And obviously when he realized, as a coder, as you know, as a dev, when you realize what they built kind of thing in such a quick time frame, I think it kind of got them intrigued, right? Like they built a whole ecosystem within not a lot of time, and the way they done, I don't understand the whole dev thing and the coding and all of that stuff. So to me, it's kind of like confusing to a certain degree, but apparently, you know, you need skill and things like that. And I think that's when he said he worked with Maria Dev on 2 of the coins or 3 of the coins. I'm not 100% sure, but I wouldn't put XUSD as the same project as pDAI, right? Like, I mean, I'd say they're 2 different founders, number one, and I'd say that they're 2 different projects. They don't have the same narrative. I mean, to a certain degree, they have the same narrative, right? Like, I mean, it's gonna go to $1, it's gonna stay at $1. But with XUSD, it's more of the burning side of it is how it's going to get $1, not, you know, someone's just going to come with $35 billion and collateralize it, and it's going to be at $1.
Well, separate from the projects,
it's going to be.
If you just think of the characters, you know, if you think that these 2 new people have good intentions, then you would have to assume then that the 414 dev also has good intentions, correct?
To a certain degree, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this. I don't think you should trust anyone in the crypto space, right? Not even me, nobody. Shouldn't trust anybody. Like I said, you judge people by their actions.
Right.
I don't know too much about Catty and Surfacing, but what I have seen from them is they basically stopped the minting happening on pDAI, right? They triggered ESM. Now, some people have criticized them because they took a bounty, basically. They minted a bunch of pDAI and then dumped it, which is what caused the 99% sell-off. But in my opinion, like, I think that's deserved, right? You've put the time, energy, money into these flop auctions to win them, trigger the ESM, stop the minting. If you're going to take a bounty, I've got no issue with that. I don't care what you do with that money. Some people are a bit critical of that. I mean, I think most of us here would probably do the same thing, right? So, you know, I think we got to give them credit for doing that. And I haven't seen them live on stream dumping tokens, so I can't really put them in or say that, oh, I don't trust Maria, but I do trust them, or I can't trust them. Like, I don't know. Again, it's just that you got to see how people act moving forward. And from my conversations, because I talk to Catty and Surfacing quite a bit, so does KR.
Okay.
I mean, they seem like genuine people. I like them. I like what they've done when it comes to stopping the minting from happening. So I don't know. I think they're being genuine, and I know that they I don't know if they trust Maria, but they like Surfacing has worked with him in the past, and they have bonded their project's liquidity with the Atropa liquidity, and they are
Okay.
like I personally like them, so I don't really have a bad thing to say about them right now.
It was
I know
bullish
that
for the pulse
like-
chain what they did, right? Like
Yeah.
filling the hole so that we don't have a leak anymore. You know, I don't care how you look at it. Like it's overall bullish. It may even be bullish for the future of pDAI. Even though all that infrastructure is gone, like at least now there's no exploit. So you have a very large inflated supply, but like it's not going to get any bigger. So those guys did good. It doesn't mean they can't do bad in the future, but they did good.
For sure.
Yeah, it was good what they did. Do you think that if they obviously they were getting a bounty, but don't you think they should have announced when they were going to do what they did?
Why?
Or does that not make sense?
It would like to give people a chance to get out.
They call
Get out
pDAI
or
guys
whatever.
dietards.
Huh?
Yeah.
They call pDAI guys dietards because they're so, sometimes they're so, what's the word?
Zealots.
Blinded by what's going on.
It and shown proof that they could do it, and a lot of people would not have believed them and would have not taken any action. So some would have, obviously, but like just the narrative of the diamond hands over there were impressive. I don't know if there was a payoff there, but I think they could have announced to the world, and only 5 to 10% of holders would have taken any action at all.
You always run the risk also of being the guy that pulls the fire alarm, right? So are you going to just tell some close buddies that this is what we're about to do, or are you going to go create a run, right? And it's very, very hard to be the person that pulled the fire alarm and told everybody to dump on everybody else's heads, right? I think this was kind of the opposite of a fair launch, right? This was a fair killing, in other words, right? And everybody got notification at the same time, yeah?
It could have hurt the pulse chain in some way too if there was sort of that news 24 hours in advance. It could have been a rough 24 hours for the chain as a whole. Just if that leaked over into the other core assets, which would have been possible, we could have seen a larger dump on our hands than just that one big red candle. Was it beneficial for the community to make a big red candle? Like that's a tougher argument.
All right.
I was going to ask you a question, St. Wolf.
Yeah, shoot, brother.
What do you think of this new ecosystem that's come out of nowhere on Pulse Chain?
Which new ecosystem?
The new Teddy eco with the Mooney,
let's see. Yeah, I picked up a little bit of Teddy. I'm into the bears, so I think the bears will still all do well. And I've noticed from past cycles when there's a meme coin, whether whatever it is, frog, rabbit, dog, whatever, they all kind of run together. So I'm still quite bullish on anything with a bear. But in terms of picking up more or looking deeper into it, no, I didn't. Some people were speculating that is it the Atropa dev doing it? Who created that? Who do you guys think created it?
We have no idea. I don't think it is.
Okay.
E-Roots adjacent.
I don't think it was the Atropa dev that did it, but anything's possible.
I don't know who it was, but it seems like they're like trying to be a copycat of Maria.
Yeah.
And building like a similar web of tokens, but through pump tires. I'm personally more bullish on that ecosystem than Atropa because
really,
even though we don't know who the dev is, because we can speculate. the fact that you can't mint those tokens out of nowhere, there's no like hidden functions in the code. The one thing that was really interesting, that because we've been tracking the deployer wallet and all the wallets attached to it, is they've been bridging in gold. So I know Tether have their own gold coin. It's backed by gold. It's called XA. I forget what it's called now.
XAUD. Yeah. XAUD.
So this is the first time I've ever seen that token be bridged into Pulse Chain and added to the liquidity of a token. And whoever created this ecosystem have been bridging in, I think they're bridging over 100 grand's worth now, maybe 200K worth of gold.
Really?
And added it to the liquidity pool with one of the tokens within the ecosystem, which is called Frank or Free Gold. So, I mean, again, this is very speculative, very, very speculative stuff, because we do not know who this is. But the way they're building their liquidity pools is very interesting to me, and it's not like you see a massive market cap and then like a small amount of liquidity. You look at the ratio between liquidity and market cap on these tokens, and they're very, very good. Like the way that the liquidity to market cap is like a really good ratio. So I'm bullish on that.
Yeah, can you give me some more details about this?
So,
what interests you about the liquidity pool design or what they're doing? We probably learned something from it, so if you don't mind.
Okay, so like if you look at their top, the token that has the most liquidity is Mona Lisa or Mooney.
Okay.
And it has the biggest liquidity pool is with Teddy. So the liquidity is 313K and the market cap's 1.2 million. Now you go look at let's look at the Atropa ecosystem. Let's look at Atropa as another example. Mooney is kind of like
so you said liquidity is very heavy. Yeah, 313 on this one to 1.2 million for Mooney. For Pulse, it's in that under 10% range. So you got 77.
Yeah, it's the pump tires liquidity that's burnt. The Pulse liquidity.
Okay.
Are they all pump tires tokens in this?
Yeah, so they're all pump tire tokens. They made 7 of them. Okay. 3 of them were used as bot tokens, right? So the sniper bots on pump tires, and people just buy shit. This dev after 2 launches, people started tracking the dev's wallet because the coins that he made were bonded instantly. None of them dumped to 0, and that's a big thing for pump tires nowadays. In my opinion, right? When you have a dev who creates coins that they don't dump as soon as they bond, it's quite interesting. You start focusing, and that's how I started focusing on it myself.
Yeah.
Because I got into a few of these very early, and to me it was very interesting that at points in the beginning they had more liquidity than actual market cap. And it was a thing of, okay, if you're a scammer, what will incentivize you to put more liquidity up? And I'm not just talking fake liquidity. I'm talking real liquidity, PulseX, USDC, like real USDC, not the pUSDC. They had 50K of liquidity, 50K of USDC, real one, to their token at 100K market cap. It was kind of confusing, and at the same time, it was like, why do it? Like, it made no sense. Okay, you might dump your coins, but then you're just selling into your own position kind of thing, and you're just wrecking yourself. So it made 0 sense to me in regards to that ecosystem. And that's why I kind of started researching more. And the one thing I would say is whoever the founder of Teddy is, in my opinion, or the same, I think it's a team. I don't think it's one person. I think it's a team.
I agree
because you have to look into the wallets that bought in the beginning. Me and Duty Crypto went through it for 3-4 hours in the morning, and you have to look at the wallets that bought in the beginning and what they done.
Okay.
And there was I think 7 or 8 wallets that bought it Teddy in the beginning, and this wallet that currently deployed all these tokens, he bought 2% of the supply, so 20 million coins on pump tires, and then carried on putting in another 50K pulse into Teddy on its way up, which is quite interesting, right? Like, you got in on pump tires, why do you buy more? Didn't sell any, there's about 8-9 wallets that are involved from the beginning. None of them sold. Some of them have provided liquidity, and some of them kind of just left it as it is. But none of them took profits. So it was very interesting to see that, especially with how the markets are currently. Like, you know, if it was a scam or if it was a rugger, like you'd utilize at all costs to take that money now, kind of thing, or when it was at million market cap, you know. But so yeah, it was quite interesting to see that.
When you look at, sorry, just to touch on liquidity quickly. When you're looking at a Tropod, that liquidity is not real. So there is like
what I just had on the screen.
Yeah. So if you look at like just the Atropa,
right here,
pool,
Pulse.
like no, not Pulse, just with DAI or whatever. You see like 13.6 million. No, sorry.
Oh, this with DAI is probably not real. Yeah.
Sorry, liquidity. Yeah. So that's not real liquidity. People get confused because there's not $9.8 million worth of value in the liquidity pool, right?
But what about the Atropa Pulse though?
So what is it? Yeah, there's only 29k, so it's 28k in there, right?
Yeah.
So like only half of that is what you on the buy side, you can on the sell side you can take out in PLS. But I just want to point out that first pair that you saw with Atropa and DAI, that's not real liquidity. That's what a lot of people get confused.
Damn, is that the Atropa chart?
Yeah, hang on, something's wrong.
Damn.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, that looks better.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, look, if you want to speculate on the Atropa, it's probably not a bad entry where we're at now. But I think I'd rather speculate on the Mona Lisa ecosystem because it's so new.
Yeah,
it's risky because we don't know who the devs are, but it's like Atropa in the early days, right? Now, if we get that same run up that pDAI and Atropa did on this ecosystem, it's going to be insane.
Are you telling me Atropa's at an 81k market cap right now?
Is it actually at 81k market cap?
There's no way. What?
No, I think maybe look at Dex tools because Dex Screener sometimes doesn't.
There's no way that's right. Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Maybe look on Dex tools because I don't think that's correct.
This is the new Atropa or the old Atropa?
Oh my God, Fast Abdul, who are you going to? Are you fighting for India or Pakistan?
Well, I'm going to remain neutral on that one. I'm glad I'm not in India or Pakistan right now.
They both have nukes.
Okay. They do. Yeah. India's got more.
I can't take you serious right now.
What are you talking about, man?
Oh shit! Oh, I was like, why are we?
That is the market cap, bro. 82k is the market cap for Atropa.
So I don't think that's correct because Titan X, for example, you look at the market cap, it says 100k market cap, but it's not. It's actually like 11 million when you do the calculations. So something's not right in regards. Oh wow, it does say 81k. That's weird. I don't think it's correct. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't think it's correct.
Dude, we just fucking back up the truck. Hang on, man. What the fuck?
Makes zero sense for it to be at such a market cap. Wait, unless... Because they burnt a lot of coins, didn't they? They burnt 7 million Atropa. So unless that is taken in consideration, and who done that as well, by the way? It was Catty who done that. It wasn't anyone else. It was Catty who burnt a shit ton of pDAI and a shit ton of Atropa and T-Bill, actually, and other tokens in that ecosystem.
And that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so they like KR said earlier, they burnt they burnt a lot more, but we found 11. Was it 11 billion?
Yeah, 11 billion, but in total it was like 95 billion that they burnt.
Yeah, so they burned like about 100 billion tokens pDAI. It's pretty great. But yeah, this new ecosystem that's popped up that is, we think, connected to the new Teddy group. Well, they have 7 coins, but the main ones are Mooney, which is Mona Lisa, Frank, which is free gold, Emerald, which is Chintamana, and Zero, which is Black Hole. And they've all just been going insane because I think people are like speculating that this is like a newer Atropa style ecosystem, just through pump tires. So like more trustworthy to a certain extent, right? Like trustworthy as far as the code goes, but then we don't know who the dev is.
So the interesting thing about it was on the pump tires when they launched 0, 0, 1, and 2. So they launched 0, 1, and 2. They stated in the description of the token, "Do not buy. This is a bot token. It will go to 0." You know, and people still speculated and bought, of course, but you know they're bots to a certain degree. So if you're buying kind of thing, you know you're willing to get wrecked. But even down to that, like, why would you comment on a token that "do not buy, this is a bot token"? To me, it's like, as a scammer, would you really do that? Would you be looking out for people to, you know, not to buy a token? And then you go look, like there's so many coins that Maria launched, didn't tell you not to buy, but all got minted and nuked to 0. I mean, G-Baby's one of them. I know guys that bought at 11K per token. Or it was 1100, I'm not sure. It was 11K or 1100. The coin went down to 10 cents. Less than that even, 5 cents, 3 cents. I'm not sure. That's because they sold it down, you know. So yeah, whoever this is, I do think they have good intentions.
On the 0.
Maybe they are trying to copy the Tropa ecosystem to a certain degree. But I think PvP is bullish on Pulse Chain personally.
And the fact that Frank, the one token they have, Frank or free gold, is literally bonded with gold. This is the first real world asset liquidity pool I've seen, I think, on any chain, let alone Pulse Chain.
And Pups, to clarify, we found this is the Atropa here because I know this chart. I know this move here. This looks familiar. Yeah, this is the one. $13.5 million market cap.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah,
that's more realistic.
There's a lot of Franks.
I like that they bridged in
FRANC.
That's awesome.
FRANC.
Having like gold on the Pulse chain is cool.
It's bullish, bro. It's cool. And they bridged more in the other day. Yesterday, I think they bridged in more. You know, like it's quite interesting. And this chains love speculations. People love to speculate. People love to play on speculations. And I think it's an interesting speculation, especially when the name of the coin is free gold, right? You pair it to real gold, and it's like free gold, real gold. It's hilarious.
Nice.
Yeah. And you could earn real gold by LPing, right? Like, you know, that there's a good sell story there. I'm curious to see where they go with this.
Apparently, gold on Pulse Chain is worth more than gold on Ethereum.
Arbitrage, and it creates that arbitrage opportunity, right? Like if there's $100,000 of gold there, there's going to be a multi-step arbitrage to bridge out and sell it on one side of the bridge or the other. Whether you can catch that in enough time, but yeah, could be real. I'm sure somebody watching is
creates
onto
volume
that
for the
now.
chain, right?
Yeah.
Creates volume for the chain as well.
Great. Yeah, it's great.
It
I mean, that
increases
chart
the
looks
TVL,
nice.
Yeah, it's
right?
nice.
The total
It's very
value
nice.
locked on the chain of meaningful assets, you know, looks good when that kind of stuff comes in.
Right on. Interesting. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, this is the first time I'm learning about this. Pretty cool. Obviously, I'm not in the habit of diving into things like this right now, but it looks cool. I like this one. Frank looks pretty cool for sure. But yeah, I'm still vibing Atropa. Yeah, a lot of good stuff going on there. Jim Cork, we talked about this a few streams back. Oh yeah. I did, and I did look. I grabbed a bit of Teddy, and I started looking a little bit. You were told what not to buy in the if you were involved near the beginning. Big GZ, that's true. Maria was telling people which ones not to avoid. So that's why I think people are speculating it's very similar to the Atropa thing. Interesting time is pulse volume low and the chain is.
But it's also a question of look, guys. I want to ask a serious question to the pDAI Max, right? And I don't take you as one saying, but this question goes out to everyone. If people are so bullish on pDAI, then why on God's green earth are people not so bullish on pWBTC? Like, I don't see the same energy on pWBTC how I see on pDAI. The Atropa dev stated, even live, to my face, that pWBTC will go to parity before pDAI goes to parity. So my question here is, where is the bullishness on that side of things? I don't see the same energy. I'm sorry. There might be some people that are bullish, but I don't see the, the same energy pDAI's got, pWBTC having. I just don't see it.
The big players probably weren't able to get in at like pennies, right? And that's why they're not pushing it.
Yeah, it's unit bias, right? It's 100% unit bias. You're getting a couple of coins for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, that makes total sense, actually. Yeah.
But the trope, like, when I ask this question, I'm asking it to, the guys that believe in Maria, the dev of Atropa. And it's like, they stated that pWBTC will go. I mean, we see a bullish outbreak, DPEG between pDAI and pWBTC in the last few days. Obviously, the chain's going down. These coins are going to go down as well. It's not rocket science. But we did kind of see a DPEG in regards to pWBTC started going up, and pDAI was kind of on a slower trend than pDAI itself.
I like pWBTC. I still have my bag. I mean, I agree with you that it could be one of the first ones that goes to parity, and then some, 100%.
The math of it favors pWBTC over pDAI, to be sure.
100%.
It could reach 100,000 easier than pDAI could reach $1.
It's better adoption. I think it's better adoption. Personally, I've always been more bullish on pWBTC. I think people are going to be more interested in a Bitcoin that's going to parity, from a certain price than a stable coin going to parity. That's just the way I'm thinking. And I think in regards to, how would I think if I didn't know this ecosystem? How would I think if I wasn't in Pulse Chain? Right? You take yourself out of your own shoes and you think from a different angle. And what's going to turn your head? A stable coin going to $1, or a Richard Hart Bitcoin that's at this price but could potentially peg to the real price of Bitcoin? You know what I mean? You're gonna look at the BTC one more than the pDAI one, in my opinion.
I think the narrative's just as strong as it was in 2023. I think it's solid. Yeah.
You and Panos both have a little bit of favoritism towards the BTC. I don't want to call you guys maxis to your face here on YouTube, but you guys love BTC. Admit it.
Well, which one? The pWBTC?
You like the real one, 100%. You guys do. I listen to you guys.
I have zero Bitcoin, bro. I'm all in Pulse Chain. I don't care about Bitcoin that much. But I mean, Panos, yeah.
Level, right?
If you don't like Bitcoin, like you shouldn't like anything, because we wouldn't even be here if it weren't for Bitcoin. This all exists.
100% agree with.
Right, but I'm also of the understanding that there's way more risk involved, but there's a lot more opportunity to make more money on other coins. And my whole premise is, all these coins, they're not going to mean shit in the future. They're vehicles to make more Bitcoin with, because Bitcoin is the only thing that's going to matter, and Ethereum. But like, realistically, Bitcoin is always going to be the top dog. So you should view these altcoins that we dabble in, Pulse Chain and all this, as ways to leverage your money to, in the end, be able to buy more Bitcoin with. That's what I believe anyway. Like, that's my opinion. But I'm more in altcoins right now than I am Bitcoin, because I'm speculating on them outperforming at this point.
So you guys see Richard Hart's tweet today in regards to the pump tires?
Yeah. Finally.
Yeah.
I was going to ask what you guys thought, because he did put pump went up 20-30% today. I was confused why it went up, but apparently he put the contract address of pump itself in that tweet.
Break it down for us. What did he say in the tweet?
Oh, I'm no dev. That's why I asked you guys. It was in regards to verifying the contracts of pump tires.
Yeah. I think I reposted it on my thing. Where's that? Why is this thing all fucked up?
You basically showed the verification of the contract, basically.
gotta pop off, you guys. I appreciate you having us on me on St. Wolf. Thank you for the invite.
Triplet Dad, what's up, man? It's first time meeting you.
Yeah, I
busy.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you, man.
Yeah. Maybe we'll put a stream together and you come on with Fast Abdul and I on our show one day.
Hey, anytime, brother. Anytime, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Panos, KR. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, bro. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
You Triplet.
All right, Richard.
So it's just saying all the code on pump.tires is verified by nature of what it is, right? So great.
But why did pump 20-30%? Where is the pump contract address? This is what confused me.
But DAI, for example, pumped 70%. Other coins pumped even harder, right? So I think all of the coins actually pumped when the tweet went out.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He says,
apart from most, sadly.
He says, apparently,
but most is like the biggest one, right? So it's going to move a bit slower, I guess.
Richard said today, apparently this is the verified contract code of pump.tires tokens. Seems standard, plus a launch front run project, and then he puts the address for the contract code of pump tires. And it's cool. He's drawing attention to it. And then he says, it's nice to be able to read the verified source code of tokens so that you can predict what they do and they don't do. Open Zeppelin is an extremely standard and common code base for ERC20 tokens. This appears to have a front-run protection so that the graduation from pump.tires cannot be front-run. So it appears to be cool and safe and easy to understand. Things people care to check for when they inspect tokens. No admin key, no ability for anyone to mint, inflate supply, no ability for anyone to turn off transfers, no taxes or fees, no proxy contrast oracles or reentrancy. It's nice to know a token has none of these things. What's reentrancy?
No clue.
It's the reentrancy attack.
What's that?
Basically, in kind of layman terms, is when you can mint more tokens. Basically,
oh,
that's
okay.
what.
Gotcha.
That's just what it means in this very specific way. In a very specific way. Okay, but in layman terms, it's basically that.
You know what post he done today that's even more interesting than this one?
He did another one today?
Yeah, there's a post, he's talking about a registered charity.
Ah, okay.
That one there.
All right, he just posted
this. Is very interesting. Okay, if you want to read that out.
Yeah, he says, I wonder who is a registered charity or similar type of nonprofit entity that might want to spread the good word about free and open source software. I hear many countries offer discounts for such activities. Who might know someone?
It is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's looking for a marketing platform.
What are you getting from that? I know he was
there's a
anti-aging.
few things you get from that. I think what Fast Abdul said is interesting.
Oh, start one.
Like if there was a charity that could talk about open source software, right, and people could donate to that charity, maybe various whales, then they're getting a tax write-off, and that charity could talk about open source software, right? So, which could work for something like a wallet, could work for I don't know, it could work for Hex, Pulse Chain, etc. It just depends on how the charter of that charity is worded, right? So I think he's queuing somebody to make a charity, like a official registered charity in a country that counts, to set up that advertising platform.
Interesting.
And obviously it doesn't have to be Pulse Chain centric, but like maybe if the donations came from Pulse Chain addresses, it might talk about Pulse Chain more. And that could be the start of marketing for Pulse Chain. Could be something like this. Because he's never been big on marketing, like paid marketing, but he's always been big on charities. So if you had like a dual purpose charity, like longevity and open source code, I could see him getting behind that and funding it. And funding marketing would make a big difference for us.
Think about this as well. Recently, what was it? $6.8 million was taken from the SAC funds, sort of tornado cashed out, and we don't really know where it went. Could that be connected to something like this? Speculations, of course, speculations.
Interesting.
Yes, the speculation is he asking the question because he wants ideas, or he wants somebody to do it, or is he asking the question because it's already done and you know, he's going to pull the trigger soon?
Correct.
I like that second option better.
Yes.
Could be. But we have people like on the pulse chain who are, you know, sharp enough and diligent enough to fill out the paperwork to make something like that happen. So if it's not done, let us know, Richard, and it will we'll find somebody to press the buttons.
Well, maybe Matty can do a second with that one.
There we go. Matty's taking some flack, but you know, if you needed a guy to actually do something like that and get it done, he probably would do it.
You know, I wonder if I could get it done where I am. That'd be interesting.
Maybe registered in the European Union. It depends on what the laws are and stuff like that. But yeah, it will cost money to be sure.
I could do
but
it
I think it's
specifically.
country. I think it's country dependent.
I
right?
could do it specifically
So,
here. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I, yeah, maybe that'd be really good.
It would go country by country in Europe. You can't just get like a blanket charity that covers everywhere.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yep. Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of work.
It is. It's very bureaucratic, Europe.
But
do business
it could actually work in your advantage, though, to do it like that. It actually is better.
Well,
anyone in
maybe.
CZ who might know, I'm used to doing paperwork. I've been here a little while now, so I'm good at it here. But anyone from CZ or or even maybe Poland, let me know. Reach out to me. Go to the Telegram at Same Wolf Fish and let us know. We'll see if we can talk this through and see if there's any opportunities.
Hey, Wolf, expand that comment from Nuclear Herbs underneath there. He might be onto something.
He says, Grok, please summarize the differences between 501c3 and 501c4 entities. Now, this is probably mostly for U.S.
Yeah.
Grok taking the day off, fine, here you go, in case anyone's thinking about U.S. law. The primary differences between the 501c3 and 501c4 organizations, as defined by the IRS, lie in their purpose, tax-exempt status, lobbying activities, and donor tax deductions.
Oh, that's heavy.
So, yeah, this is heavy stuff. You guys go to Nuclear Herbs if you want to get the breakdown
But
here.
this might be a guide for how to do this in the States.
Yeah.
It's what I'm feeling here. Right? Like these are your two choices. You can be a 501c3 or C4, and these are the features and benefits of both. And if you're in the United States and you're going to set something like this up, this is I suspect this could be post could be a good place to start.
Bro, we gotta start. We gotta do it out here.
Do it.
I think there's similar thing out here, and I have some ideas. Yeah.
Nice.
And I think he likes this part of the world, so could be good.
You think he could be in the East, eh?
He could be, or even a little
If he's
further
smart,
east than me, but he'll definitely be at least here.
Yep.
Yeah, Eastern Europe is awesome, bro. I lived in Poland, Romania, man. It's
awesome.
It's just the best.
It's the best, yeah.
Yeah.
Between the Balkans and where I am, and Poland is awesome. I mean, it's just amazing part of the world. Yeah, love it.
It is.
Okay. Interesting.
Stuff's happening. I'm bullish. You know, like you have those kind of cues from Richard. He seldom says stuff like that without purpose.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the purpose is, but and then you got smart guys like Nuclear Herbs, an actual lawyer, replying underneath with instructions. It's like, wow, does this, for all you conspiracy theory guys, like conspiracy theory, that one.
Software. Many countries offer discounts. Who might know someone? Yeah. All right, definitely, pups. Reach out to me for sure. And in the meantime, smash the like button if you're new to the channel. Welcome. Tonight we got Fast Abdul, KR, and Panos, and Pedro. So great.
Oh, by the way, man, I gotta leave. I gotta run.
Oh, Pedro's leaving.
Yeah, man, it was amazing being here. Thanks, man.
Yeah, brother. It's great seeing you.
Guys, continue the party.
You got it, man.
All right.
Take care.
Speak soon.
Good to see you, Pedro.
Thanks. Good to see you, man. Bye-bye. Take care, guys.
Oh. I lost everybody. Where'd everybody go? There you are. Right? Coming in 8. Yeah. So smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, you guys, and then anybody in this part of the world, definitely reach out to me. Why can't I get care?
Sounds like you need a lawyer and an accountant, and you could accomplish anything.
Yeah, it's quite affordable where I am to do these things, so definitely reach out. I know some talented people that can help with this. Very cool. All right, let's see what's going on. Sticking out. This part of the world, generally, the most popular thing is Bitcoin. In general. Let's go.
Bet you they'd like that tokenized gold as well.
Yeah, maybe they like that too. See what's going on. Incentives at $1.24. See this thing can load. Oh, let's go. Did we even look at BTC? Yeah, BTC slammed up into mad resistance. You got a pretty big wall right there. This resistance line goes all the way back to November of 2024. It's pretty much just right into it right now. I mean, I expect to pull back from here, but at this point, with the way this year's going, I don't expect anything. So, anything's possible. But this is a pretty serious move, and really, it's really a retest of where it fell out, because this was the major, trend line of support around 95 that it was mostly riding above, and it fell from there. You can see this fall apart right here. It broke these wicks, okay, right there, okay, and right now it's come right back up to retest it. Which, to be totally honest, if you were to flip it over, it looks like it's about to continue. Yo, we got a super chat. You see what I'm saying? So a W move, you break out, you come back to retest where it left, and it's going to be off to continue. This would be the normal, But of course, nothing's normal now, so we don't know. Of course, this is flipped over, so technically you'd expect, now that it's retested, back-tested, a continuation of that trend down. But, fuck, my guess is as good as yours. But obviously, it doesn't have to fall apart. It could just come back now and retest another higher level. It could retest this again, which is about 88K. I think anywhere from 88K down to I think it's the 200 there at about 80K. All right. So I think from 88K to 80K, we could get a retest, but anything's possible. We could just continue up from here if they want us to go. I'm going to do the super chat really quick. Crypto Artie, what's up, brother? Thank you so much for that super chat. Whoa. Where you at? Fucking A. Little technical issue here. All right. It says, Crypto already says, looking forward to the FOMO when RH applauses all his EHEX and pDAI visionaries. Much love to all the lovers and haters. We will all succeed together when the chain rises again sooner than later. In Jesus' name, love one another. Amen, brother. I'm down with that. Really appreciate the vibe and the super chat, man. Yeah. Richard's going to start streaming. We've probably got, another 6 weeks to go before he jumps back on, maybe? Or what do you think?
Yeah, there was 60 days after the dismissal for something or other to be finalized. So I think 60 days is the range we're looking at.
So what if Richard Hart comes back and says pDAI is not going to be a stable coin? Then what? Is there going to be another narrative?
You don't think he said that already?
I know he said that, but I'm just asking, because obviously, apparently he's not said enough. So what happens if he comes back and says he's not part of pDAI? Then what?
You're still thinking about possibilities for pDAI, huh?
No, I'm just in regards to that super chat. I was just wondering.
That's your biggest bag? That's your biggest bag, right, Kara?
I just see KR approve spending on pDAI on his wallet, by the way, guys.
We've got to wait for liquidity to be added for me to sell.
I don't think he'll even talk about pDAI. Personally, I don't think he'll talk about it.
I doubt he would. Yeah, if he comes back, I mean, who knows? Maybe he just doesn't for a while. Keeps us waiting. Yo, Habibi's in the house. You guys still friends with Habibi?
Oh yeah, we're friends with Habibi. Habibi's one of the boys. I personally don't think he will come back until prices are like way above SAC price.
Maybe
like
not,
coming back and streaming now at like after 2 years and your tokens down this much.
100%.
You know, he has to have bragging rights, right?
Yeah. No, there's a bit of game involved there, and it's probably also not easy psychologically either. He's not going to want to probably do that right now. So yeah, he's going to wait till we're above SAC, I would think. At least that. Really quick, another option I was kind of messing with. We had this inverse head and shoulders played out to where we are now. Another thing that would really mess with everybody is if we just went sideways here and we didn't drop or pump from here, and we went sideways for a while, maybe hit the side of this channel. And I actually drew this quite a long time ago. I think I drew this when we were back over here at the beginning of the month, and that would really mess people up. So we didn't come back to retest anything, and we didn't just start pumping. We just went sideways right here or in this range, you know, and then we lift off, you know, in May, you know, or June, or maybe an odd time, you know, catching everybody off guard. I feel like everybody's a little bit too expecting that right now we're about to go, we're about to send. But hey, anything's possible. Anything's possible on that. Guys, stream. The link to join is in the Telegram group if you guys want to join. It's going to $1.
Habibi.
Is he here? Oh, is there? Okay, in the comments.
I mean, we're looking good so far. We broke back into a strong area of resistance, which we've now turned back into support for now, so that's good. You know, but there's no volume coming in right now, so we'll see if it sticks. It's not very strong right now, so and obviously, I mean, you could say we're already falling apart, possibly.
So do you think we're gonna go to new lows or hit that low again, or do you think we can potentially create a higher low?
I think it's tough to say. I have a chart I did way back in the beginning of January where I showed us doing 2 drops down with the second one being lower, and we ended up here. Let me throw it up on the screen here because I can't believe how damn close this came to coming through. So if you see here, and I did this back, this is from January 6th, or no, I can't see it. Oh, shit.
Well, I just got scammed.
You just got rug pulled.
Bro, I bought some pistachios.
Yeah.
I took one out of the bag, and it's got no nut in it. It's just got the shell.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
You got rubbed on your pistachios, bro.
So
he's nuts.
This is from January 6th, okay? Where I drew this live on stream, and you can see it. I mean, we got pretty close. I drew this, you know, around end of March. So this is March 24th, and we put in one low here that I drew, and I wrote or drew that we would come back up, retest this support, but be rejected, and we'd come down and put a lower low before we continued up. And we
isn't this video or just
shit? Sorry.
We've done just about everything. We've come back up, but we did enter. We broke that resistance, came back in. We are looking to see if we turn it into support right now, or do we break down and give us that last part of this, which could be a lower low, and then come up, and that would be a big juicy spring right there. But it doesn't have to happen. I mean, we could absolutely come up and start making moves now. But You know what I mean? That's very possible too. But yeah, I'm gonna, since that thing I drew January 6th came true 4 months later, I'm gonna stick to it. Maybe the rest also plays out, you know? Doesn't mean I'm bearish, but it also means possibly maybe the market takes a little bit more time to get bullish again in general overall. And I've been saying for a little while that maybe we have a weird outbreak. We get some weird timing here, where we start ripping at an odd time, like midsummer or Q4, beginning of Q4 or something like that, or maybe middle of Q3 or something. Because they've really been messing with us on timing. We got somebody new coming in here. You know, this whole cycle has been interesting in terms of timing, right? It's still playing out. It's just the timing's been really unique, right? With the high before the halving, we didn't quite, go into the new year with the election. Now it's just been some odd, things. So maybe they mess with us some more with timing while still keeping the cycle intact. Plus, we got somebody else coming in here. Hope you guys don't mind. See if we can punch him in.
Habibi?
Yes, sir. Let's get him in.
Gio, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
But we can see you as well, bro.
No,
dude.
But they can't see you yet. Hang on one sec. What did I throw you? That's number 9, so I put you number 6. Are you guys, what's going on? How come I don't see you guys anymore? Oh, there you go. Habibi, where's your, how come your picture's not showing up?
Dude, I'm on my PC right now, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any webcam on here. I tried to open OBS though and to share my picture so you didn't have to, so it wasn't black, but I guess that didn't work.
You tried to share the picture through where?
Like on OBS. Like I tried to get it to
okay.
OBS and I tried to get it to just display the file, but it wasn't. I guess it's not working.
And you couldn't get it into the Zoom either? Because I see it in the Zoom chat, which is weird.
Yeah, so yeah, I got it into the Zoom.
Okay.
Like it says on the top, right?
Yeah.
Like it shows it at the top. I'm not sure. They just don't want the Arab on, bro. Zoom knows.
Yeah, I don't know how to get. I wish it gave me an option. Maybe it does give me an option to give you guys a picture or something. Dude, there's an AI. There should be an AI maker that will just make one for you as well, possibly. I don't know. Allow.
Dude, really?
Make.
Oh yeah,
host.
let's see.
Or you can cover your camera and just turn it on, but have it covered. That's another.
Well, dude, the issue is I got no camera on this. Like on my, I don't have a webcam or anything.
Oh, gotcha.
Like I'm on my desktop.
Not a multi-pin. Yeah.
We'll do a sacrifice to get Habibi a webcam.
Yeah, why can't you guys afford cameras? What's going on?
No, it's just I never needed one, bro. Come on, bro.
Pin. So how you been, man? Long time no talk.
Pretty good, bro.
Yeah.
Nothing much is going on. I mean, the pDAI saga has kind of ended. Everybody
what?
Everybody, I mean, where the dust has settled. Everybody has moved on. We're now talking about new things like GoPulse's scam. I mean, sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
My bad, guys. Misspoke there, wrong S.
Did anybody go in for that, the GoPulse thing?
Oh yeah, I put my whole portfolio into it, bro.
Don't believe you.
Habibi, did you have that same kind of energy when Matty done a sacrifice?
Oof.
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
Maddie's sacrifice went to the OA. If GoPulse was second to the OA, I'd be singing their praises. Maddie didn't get any of the money for the sacrifice. Trust me, I would have been singing a whole different tune if Maddie had gotten 800K from that, you know? But it went to OA, it went to Richard. So like people gave him to Richard, bro. More for him to sell at the top, but
Saint Wolf, what's your view on the GoPulse sacrifice?
I didn't think it was good to do a sacrifice right now. But at the same time, I didn't look closely enough at what the offer was. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's potential there, and maybe it's always going to be the one that we all turn away from that ends up the one that actually does really well.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm gonna snipe it when he launches. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not sacrificing. But
I'm more bullish on Dipcatcher's sacrifice for his hex chain or whatever flex chain than I am for GoPulse's vague promise of you'll get a piece of stuff we do in the future.
Yeah,
but I don't know what that is.
You know what's funny? So, number one, GoPulse stated several times on numerous occasions that they will never launch a coin, and then they'll never steal off the community. Number one. Number two, in the beginning of the sacrifice, when they first announced it on their website, when you go into the information about the sacrifice, it said someone might add liquidity, someone might do this, someone might do that. It was always might, and in like the apostrophe kind of, they changed that recently to it. Basically, it will happen. So there's no more mights in none of the words, in none of the sentences that you see on the GoPulse website. But it's also a thing of their coin will be paired to stable coins. On what God's green earth will that mean that is bullish?
Bullish for them cashing out, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Stable is a great way to cash out.
What about the fact that they was apparently attempting to sell GoPulse?
Really?
Yeah. Well, here's the number one question I have. Is this the original GoPulse team that are in control of this? Or did they actually sell it to somebody else? And this is a new team that are doing this? Because if we look at, like KR mentioned, GoPulse old posts saying that they'll never launch a coin, they'll never do a sacrifice. And then if you look at their old activities on chain, the 2.79% fee that they charge, they have bridged out every single dollar, which amounts to about $4 million, if I'm not mistaken, over like 2 years. Is that correct? 4 million, KR?
3.8, I think, yeah.
Right. So everything they've made through their fees, which, I mean, it's totally their money, so they can do what they want with it, but they have bridged out of the chain. So I question even if it's the same people that are in control, or if it's somebody else that now owns that company. And if it's not, if it is the same people, knowing that they have bridged out 3.8 mil, and like that's literally all the fees that they made through their website, what will they do with the money they get from the sacrifice, right? Are they just going to bridge it out?
They're telling us. They're telling us. He says, most sacrifices had no project generating economic value to back them. This usually resulted in falling token prices over time. GoPulse, on the other hand, is the most valuable project in the whole Pulse Chain ecosystem, with one of the best developer, management, and marketing teams in the world. Go is the only token we will ever launch, enabling us to funnel all of the value into a single price chart over the next couple of years. Should I participate? Who should participate? I don't like the word that they're using the word funnel. I don't know. Watch. Probably not the best choice.
It's hilarious.
But
so they talk about, it's the most important part of the ecosystem, but they've not launched. They've not updated their bubble maps or listed tokens since the beginning of basically the launch.
Yeah.
Since
and it's just a website. Like it's not a project. It's mostly just a website that has links to various dexes and provides data that's available somewhere else. It's not. I wouldn't call it a project.
I don't know why anyone would go and use their, because I heard that they have a swap, which I didn't even know, right? So you can swap tokens on GoPulse. But to me, it's like, why would you even use it when you're paying another 3% fee on top of what you're paying on PulseX just to transact using their swap? It makes no sense.
You didn't know any better because you're a pleb. like it is an attractive website, right? They're providing value there, right? So they make it easy to do some things. Like I can give them props for what they've done. Like this is a nice looking website.
Nice,
it's easy to click the buttons.
Sure.
You know, there's marketing value here.
Mhm.
Like they haven't done nothing. It's just not like a crypto project. It's a list of links, right? With like pretty graphics attached to it.
Yeah, even like they got a portfolio or whatever tracker. You could put your address into it, and 70% of your tokens are missing.
Should I be worried? Where did my tokens go?
No, they never went nowhere. They just can't be bothered to list tokens.
Yeah, they're not very responsive.
Yeah.
To adding new tokens, but they could be different teams, like you said. Like maybe the old team was and the new team's not.
That's not a good sign. Not a good sign at all.
I mean, go on the bubble map. That's
I mean, I don't-
the best thing. Go on the bubble map.
Did we didn't get any confirmation?
Yeah, go post bubbles. Go on that, and you'll see what I mean. Like it's hilarious. There should be on the side of it. It should have bubbles on the actual website. Yeah.
Good XMR, just what I wanted to know about.
How much liquidity is in it? Press on it. Oh no, that's crypto bubbles. That's not GoPulse bubbles, is it?
It's GoPulse.com apps bubbles.
They're just doing a frame to show crypto bubbles, probably.
Okay.
Oh, that's weird. Where's the Pulse Chain one? Where it's just Pulse Chain coins on it? That's weird.
Did we get any confirmation that I don't?
You mean
like,
this
from
one?
what we know, Midas still owns it, right?
This thing?
Is it this one?
You can look in the chat.
Yo,
he's still there, and he says owner Midas in the chat. However, Telegram handles are also transferable, right? So you could sell everything. You sell your Twitter address. If you don't have a face on the screen, it's all marketable. It's all up for sale.
I mean, look at the coins they got on there.
Yeah, soil token. What a winner.
90% down. Is that actually true? Is it 98% down?
No, I'm pretty. That might be the old one.
What the hell is going on?
Well, they launched one yesterday, right? I was looking at it. Let me see if that's.
I have the old. These are old links, possibly. Yeah.
Okay.
You can
that is an old link. The soil is not down. The new soil isn't down that much.
Yeah, so that's weird. Where's the? Because when I was looking at it even earlier, I screenshotted it.
Okay, send me the link. Send me what you guys got.
Yeah, one second.
PulseChainBubbles.com. Chaztown, bull market 2027. Yeah, I've said this in multiple streams that it's possible we get an extraordinarily extended cycle, which means we have a bit of a bear path to go through in this cycle. And with what Trump is doing, it could make sense that we're in it now without, we'll only know in the future. And that would extend our cycle into 2027, which I've said since November that could be a very strong possibility. That would throw everybody off big time. And then we'd have an epic, because that also gives them to release their CBDC. There's a lot of things, we can start to break down of why that would need to happen, because I've asked this question before to chat. I said, look, do you see them wanting to have an epic bull run before or after CBDCs are released? And the obvious answer is probably after. So that means they need time to create an event, put enough pain on people, release the CBDC, make it now, because of the pain, an easy solution to your pain. Everyone takes the CBDCs. At that point, we know something's broken. The Fed has an excuse to print. So you need some time to elapse for that to happen. And then we get that epic bull run that everyone's talking about. Could it happen right now and we go right into Q4 with the epic one? I mean, it's possible. But maybe it doesn't start till the end of this year and takes us 2026 and 2027, because then the excuse to print more money is present. They're just going to print like you've never fucking seen before. And then you'll have this mega, bull run going into.
Do you think we're gonna get that stimulus, the Doge refund?
The Doge refund that he's promised?
You think we're gonna get that, bro?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they do, and that would be concurred with the money printing, but it's not going to be that much money. It's not going to be as much as you think because of how much they're going to end up printing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's nothing to them. Do they print the money? They just fucking print it. Who gives a fuck? to them.
Ain't the whole world printing right now money currently, but it's just basically USA that are left.
Everyone's probably printing to save all the banking systems for every country, which are all fucking disaster. But it doesn't mean we get to see that yet. Yeah?
Okay.
So this is better,
I mean,
guess.
I mean, oh, they added pump. Wow, amazing. That's hilarious.
Nice.
But you got tokens on there which are literally like scams. Go launch at the bottom. It's got $8 of liquidity.
Where? Which one?
Wherever, launch. The
Launch?
token called launch. I think it's literally underneath the PLSP one.
Oh, okay.
That one was disappointing. That guy came on, I can't remember his name, but he was like an influencer.
it.
Came on to launch that token and then basically rugged it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is this thing fucking in the way? Like, what the fuck is this?
Not to their defense, I don't want to defend launch because it was a pretty
see if I can fix this.
scammy launch, but right after they launched their platform, which was basically pump tires, Richard Hart launched pump tires and just completely killed
Oh, I remember.
not just launch, but CoinQuest, and there's other pump tire pump fund forks that are just completely dead now because of pump tires. So it was really bad timing for launch to launch that platform.
Yeah. It's not a good marketing move to launch the same thing as Richard Hart. Poor plan.
No, I mean they front run Richard. Like I don't think they knew Richard was going to launch that, but yeah, now it's just kind of like it's done.
What about the fact that they only added 10k of liquidity to their coin?
That as well. That was very sad. How much did they raise? I'm curious.
I think it was millions.
I can find out.
Wow.
So far, that's been the meta this cycle. Do a sacrifice, get rich, add a small amount of it into liquidity, and fuck off.
I'll launch, yeah. Ah, okay. So this is the same company that's doing the sacrifice, Go Pulse.
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
I mean, what the?
What is the sacrifice for though? Like what's
Pinu 2?
Let's go look. Nothing opens when you click on them.
Oh, it don't open them for you?
Why is it open?
Oh, that's strange.
It's opening for you?
Yeah, it's meant to open and tell you what's the liquidity and
it's not
stuff like that.
I can't get anything to fucking open.
Maybe
that's why they're doing a sacrifice to make you open
it. I can't.
They gotta improve the user experience for you, bro.
Yeah. So it's opening for you on your computer?
Yeah, it worked. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure before I send it to you, it's working.
Nothing's working.
That's very strange.
This kind of site would be a good one for Richard Hart to sponsor. He recently did a post about a wallet tracker. So, like something like this could be combined with that, and just provide the data. Because this it's not a good way to make money like these kind of websites. It'd be a lot of work and not much payoff. And some people in the community have done a good job. Like I know Giga did his friends one and stuff like that, but it's like, where's the payoff in doing this work without running a sacrifice?
Yeah, shout out to Giga and friendcabal.com because I've been using that as a portfolio tracker, and it's been amazing. Like I found tokens that I didn't even know I had on there that no other portfolio tracker has shown. So yeah, shout out to Giga for that. It's a great platform. He's still in beta and he's still working on like features and that, but for like a portfolio tracker especially, I think it's probably the best thing out there.
Oh, cool. This is my first time here, actually. I heard about it just this week, and then it's the first time getting to check it out.
Yeah, you don't have to connect your wallet. Okay. You can just put your wallet address in there and track it.
Nice.
But if you connect your wallet, you can also save addresses, so you can track a bunch of different addresses. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so yeah, to be able to use, like, how DBank you could mark and save addresses and stuff. Basically, you can do the same thing on here, but you just need to have he has it tied to wallet ID. So you just have to connect the wallet. If you want access to that, though, but try to search one. Like, just grab any address you want.
Search an address?
Yeah. Just, like, search any address you want.
Okay.
Looks like you got a bunch in here, bro. There we go. Yep. It'll show you your stakes as well. And then see, yeah, you had a bunch of tokens in this one. You see 94 more. And you can choose to hide tokens as well. Like once you if this was your personal, you could like filter out the scam tokens.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I like it. I like it.
Have you guys looked into the one that Richard HAARP made? Or not
No.
made, but
Which one's that?
he put out a tweet saying that he's, if you like,
He just put another tweet out?
Yeah, it's. I think it's right before the last tweet that we looked at. I've heard it's not all that yet, but it doesn't mean it couldn't be improved. We really need a DBank clone or the equivalent to actually pull data from everywhere. Giga's one is great. It's probably one of the best ones, but it's not pulling all the data yet, and it needs to be updated all the time, right? Like this is not something that's free to do.
Yeah.
I didn't see.
I've not even pressed on it.
I mean, the best option would be to have Rabbi relist us. That's the dream, right?
That could be cool.
After us literally nuking their stars on all their platforms.
Yeah, not very likely. I mean, trust me.
But don't forget, guys, just as quick as we nuked it, we can bring it right back up to.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. No, they would be. Yeah, they would probably like that. Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, we could bring them right back to close to 5 stars. I think some people could edit their reviews. There could be new reviews. I would guarantee they get 1,000 reviews in a day that were 5 stars if they did relist us.
Yeah, for any of the DBank developers listening to this right now, go ahead and message me at pWBTC Crypto King.
Indeed.
I like the one that Frankenbaum made. Actually, it's cool. It's got some vibe.
What I would like to see is something like what Richard's working on here, except for more complete with all the functionality of DBank, but have it be like an API that could be plugged into wallets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because like DBank's big advantage or Rabbi's big advantage was DBank, that they had all this data and that like one fed the other. If you could have an app that had this data that wallet providers could plug into, like any wallet provider, could be like, okay, we're gonna support Pulse Chain just by pressing this one button and having an app that pulls all the data from somebody else who's paying to do the work. Then we could have all the wallets.
Oh, yep.
We have this too. This is also
good. This is what I need. Except God.
How can we tokenize this?
Oh, this is from Portugal. This is when the power went out, pups. A lot of people went to the beach. Yeah. My mic or my mouse is jammed right now. So everybody smash the like button.
Conveniently.
It happens. There's too many people watching the stream right now. We have 18,000 people watching right now and only 139 likes. That's ridiculous. Everybody reach down and smash the like button.
Mainly on X.
Yeah, everybody's coming. It's hard to smash the like from X, right? I hear you.
Come
Everybody's
on,
on X. Yeah. Everybody's come from X. All right. Let's see. Did I get the mouse back? Oh, here we go. The mouse back. Where's it going? So, yeah, I mean, I think somebody said, Donald Trump is, we need to catch what he's talking about here. Let me go to his Twitter and see what we can get. He's doing some address right now.
What's Donnie doing?
Chad, you guys were talking about something. Trump was made some announcement or what were you guys referring to?
Check on Twitter.
That post just made me laugh. The one up above this one.
Where? Oh.
Yeah, that one.
Trump says he's more knowledgeable than Fed Chairman Jerome Powell.
Oh, yeah.
I typed in Donald Trump, and it's all about Muslims right now.
Oh, hold on. This one. President Trump's Truth Social explores launching its own crypto token and wallet.
No.
Could that be what we were talking about?
Oh, my God.
No.
That's such a top signal, bro.
Donald Trump's company to
Well, I don't even
launch
think
its own
Trump
coin
knows
and
how to
platform.
set up a wallet.
Yeah, now we're getting to that point where I think, maybe this thing that we're about to get this delay and this bull run makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, this is about as top-ish as it gets. It's fake. Wait, what's this? Fuck's this? What am I getting here?
How many tops is Trump going to make?
He's making all the tops.
Sorry,
bro. We've been in top signal since the beginning of this cycle. I'll be honest. Like it just feels like it's been top signals from literally the get-go.
Yeah, when the president launches a meme coin, that feels like a top signal. But I think he pumps and dumps it, gets his buddies in, and pumps it again, right? So it depends what part of the pump we're in.
His own coin and platform. So what does he mean? Like it's like a layer, like its own layer one, some kind of like fork of Ethereum.
Well, if it's a wallet, then maybe it's just a tokenized wallet.
Okay.
For example, like the internet money wallet.
I'll be honest. If he announces that he's launching on Ethereum, I'll see you lot later. I'm buying that 5x. I'm out. Have a good day.
I think he knows what's coming.
Let's do it in the first 24 hours then, based off the performance of the Trump token.
Yeah, done well. But from what I understand, or from what I've seen in the past, when the first token does well, 9 out of 10, the second token is going to be complete opposite of the first token. 9 out of 10.
Wait.
Yeah, people remember.
Wait, 9 out of 10 what?
Like even Crypto ran, right? He launched what was the first one? Gummies? And that ran hard for 7 days, I think. It was bullish. And then he went on to launch Baked, and I think that died in 30 minutes. But still bullish, right? 30 minutes.
On Solana, that's bullish.
For Solana, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Anything more than 5 minutes without a rug pull is bullish.
I think he knows what's coming, man. I think he's going to cash in. I think he knows they're going to print like you've never seen before, and we're going to have an epic bull run, and he wants to participate in it. And it makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
What would you guys do if he announces that he's launching on Pulse Chain?
Double down.
God.
I would sell all my horses, dogs, and goats to buy more Pulse Chain.
Wow.
Dude, what about your camels, bro?
No, I'm holding the camels.
Don't sell the camels.
Long term.
They bought worldliberty.eth, trumpcoin.eth, erictrump.eth, and barontrump.eth ENS domain names in the last 24 hours. Damn.
Interesting.
President Trump's Truth Social explores launching its own crypto token and wallet. Wow.
He makes a pleb-friendly wallet. Probably it'll have KYC on it. but it could get a lot of plebs into crypto, which could be bullish.
I mean, we've had some bullish updates, right? MasterCard, I think that was yesterday or the day before yesterday, they announced that they're going to be partnering up with stablecoins.
Yeah. We've had an orgy of nonstop bullish news this year. And price...
And the price seems to not...
So what does that tell you?
That there's no more buyers, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, we might have a bit of a fizzle bit here. But I don't think it's over. Like I said, I think we'll have... The bull run will continue. If it happens. I mean, who knows what's going to happen, right? But something we were talking about for a while, that we get this super extended bull run, but allows them to kind of like line up. See, all these people want to line up all these things, right? The banks are getting ready. They're getting ready. CBDCs might be coming. These things take a little bit of time, right?
Institutional buyers could be the next buyers. Like that could be the top, is institutions coming into crypto. Like big time, like all banks having crypto in their portfolios, like more than 1%, right?
Yeah.
Like 30% bank portfolios in crypto.
That'll be a
like
top.
That's the kind of thing that could give us an actual.
So, when can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when I was in Dubai, this was 2 months ago, I was out there for 3 weeks, and I met this guy. He was in my hotel. We was in the smoking area together, smoking. Funny, you make these networks in the smoking area. And he works for one of Germany's biggest financial institutions. And we was talking about crypto. And he said that short term he's bearish. And he said that it's like a monthly wise, like he's bearish. But within 3 to 6 months, he said you're going to have the biggest institutions. I mean, you already have BlackRock, right, buying, but you're going to have way more, and you're going to have the mid and the small institutions and the mid institutions and the large institutions all buying crypto. You'll have the banks who are going to be offering for you to buy crypto directly through the bank. And he said that this is all going to happen in a scale of 3 to 6 months. MasterCard just announced their, little announcement. I wouldn't say it's technically buying crypto, but to a certain degree it is as well, right? Like it's a big open door in regards to buying crypto. So he said overall he's bullish for this year.
Okay.
But he also predicted that this could be potentially a last cycle, or one of the last cycles, where it's not going to be controlled by the government, because the government want hands in now so they can control the scenery in regards to, crypto going up and when does it go up and things like this, because, if you can't beat them, join them to a certain degree.
Who was this person?
He was just a guy who I met in Dubai, just some regular folk. I took his number down. We ended up exchanging a few messages as well, but he works for a German institution, and he said that his institution where he works, he's higher up there as well. He said their plan is to start buying crypto in the next 3 to 6 months.
That makes a lot of sense to me, and that lines up really well with kind of how I was imagining the cycle, because that gives us enough time to have this little bit of this little bear phase we've had, and then Q4 we start to feel it pick up, and then just blast into 2026. And possibly the cycle tops actually at the end of 2026 or even 2027, really catching everybody off guard, going a lot longer than anyone could expect. So kind of what you're saying is he's going to load up, or he said 3 to 6 months is all that's left when it loads up, or was he?
No, he said in the next 3 to 6 months you're going to see, banks accumulating,
right.
institutions accumulating.
Gotcha, yeah.
He never said that he thinks that there's 3 to 6 months. He said he predicts basically towards the end of the year, maximum. He said mid next year.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks that will be the kind of the top.
Okay, 2026.
But at the end of the day, the markets are going to do what the markets have always done before anyone was in crypto, right? So really hard to predict when the top will be. And 9 out of 10, when everyone thinks something, and they specifically think it's going to happen that day or that month or that time range, 9 out of 10 crypto goes the other way and goes does the complete opposite. You know, I remember the February whole. Apparently, Ethereum's always bullish in February, always outperforms, always does well. I think we had the biggest bloodbath in Ethereum in February instead.
It's still going, bro.
Oh yeah.
Guys, I've got to jump off here because I'm going out for dinner in like 10 minutes. I'm gonna get ready. But nice chatting to everyone. St. Wolf, thanks for having me.
It's good to meet you, man.
And next time I come on, I'll actually have an avatar.
Yeah,
a picture of myself.
Come back anytime, man. It's great having you.
Cheers, bro.
All right, peace out, bro.
Peace, bro.
Easy,
Take care.
Panos.
Bye-bye.
Chat, make some noise for Panos. Smash the like button. Go to those spaces. If you guys haven't, KR and Panos hosted them quite often. You guys are still doing them quite often, right? At least 3 times a week now still.
Oh no, we still do them at least 2. Well, we try to do 2 a day, but it's hard.
You're doing 2 a day?
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Literally. We should be maybe potentially, when he's back, I want to message him. We should be hosting another one.
Okay.
But yeah. Rooms seems to always get filled for some reason. I don't know. It's weird. It's interesting technology.
Twitter's great.
Maybe it's all
it's so accessible, right? It's so easy when I see you guys, when I go on there and I can see your thing and I can just click on and, you know, and yeah, it's just so great.
You guys did a great job hosting. That's what made it big, right? Like anybody can press a button and make a Twitter space, but like having a host that's a moderator, you in particular, KR, that can play both sides, that can keep it civil, that can has the balls to actually mute idiots. You know, that's key for the success of these things. And I think that's why you did so well with those spaces. Keep doing it.
Yeah, 100%,
Appreciate
man.
you, brother.
Props, 100%.
Yeah, at first I was trying to like kind of play both sides in regards to even the pDAI situation. Like I was even telling like my friends in the background, like, guys, like no one's coming up to defend the pDAI cause, so I'm going to defend. But yeah, then when Richard Hart come out with the tweets, I kind of stirred away from that personally.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Nobody wants to take that bullet at that point. Though some people were still pushing.
Oh yeah. Now look at them. They're 99%.
But those spaces could be like a force for good now, right? Like it's, you know, to keep that momentum going. I know there's huge personal energy there, and it's not like, you know, there's not zero cost as far as your time and your health of doing stuff like that. But like, if you had that same momentum, but we were talking about bullish, awesome things all the time, like, you know, I think that would be fantastic.
Holy shit, bro. We're just looking at this, dude. Oh,
who the hell just pumped that? Let's go. There's someone who's listening into the space.
Yeah, we were just talking about
it. Into the stream.
Fuck, dude.
Good chance. Very good chance.
This has happened quite a bit when we've talked about stuff. Damn, that's a move.
What's it at now? 200, 400?
Over 400, bro. It's crazy. $430.
Hell.
Yeah, it was just at 230, 240. It was at 234 when we were talking about it. Looking really good. I mean, you know.
I'm gonna have to go look at who's buying.
Yeah, who's buying? Who's buying this? What's going on? Is it one wallet?
What the hell? That's a 2x.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's thick liquidity with it as well. It's not like you have to put some capital in there to move that job.
We've seen some serious moves on this stream.
Unless I hardly doubt everything's pumping right now.
No.
I mean, some things that are green right now.
But that's beautiful. This is nice. Now it is coming back to a heavy area of resistance, which is at about 440-ish. Or why did I have that line right there? I don't know. Oh yeah, it was the old high back here.
Yeah, pDAI is pumped as well, 11%.
Yeah, right here between about 400-ish, 440-ish. Got a lot of resistance. We hadn't retested it yet, so we may get a rejection, but we have been making higher lows, yeah, kind of for the most part. I mean, it's been looking good. I think people are realizing that this is a great narrative, no matter what happens with 414, this dev, or pDAI. pWBTC is one of the copies on Pulse Chain that I think is going to do well. And it's incredible marketing for the chain if this does, you know, start moving up to meet Bitcoin.
Interesting. So I can tell you exactly what's happening.
What's going on?
There's a wallet that has bought 26K, 25K, 19K, 18K, 17K, 16K, 17K, 15K, 13K in the last 14 minutes.
Damn. Pup, smash the like button. If you like how this, if the channel moves the market, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. That's wild. Somebody said, PTGC Maxi said it's OG Web Chef for his ecosystem.
I'm looking into the wallet now to see who it is. Interesting concept, though. It's just loading up.
I'm surprised.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. This wallet's got 5.6 million in it, mainly in OG Eco.
What's up, Red Bull? How you doing?
Yeah, it's OG Web Chef buying it up right now.
Wow. For one of the projects in particular, for liquidity or what?
Potentially, yeah. Maybe he's buying it up to make dominance more heavier in regards to liquidity.
To pay out dominance rewards.
Yeah.
Shit.
But I don't see no more PLS in this wallet. So maybe that was it. Interesting.
Okay.
So if you see that dominance liquidity go harder, thicker, then yeah, I'd buy some, definitely.
This is with the Pulse pair. It's $418,000 liquidity, but it says a $1.17 billion market cap here.
How much liquidity is in that one?
418K.
Oh wow! You look at Beast though, right? Beast has I'm not sure. I think it's over $1 million in liquidity with the real rat Bitcoin.
No, I don't think it.
Whoa! This is only 20K liquidity on almost $3 billion market cap for the Pulse pair.
Most of its liquidity is tied with the rat Bitcoin fork.
Yeah, the rat Bitcoin.
Not
the real
fork.
rat Bitcoin.
I'm sorry, the real rat Bitcoin.
Yeah. I think there's over 600K of liquidity of the real Bitcoin.
Yeah, like 300 bid. There's not that much pulse lick though.
For this one here, Beast with pWBTC.
Yeah, Beast.
Yeah.
But it pumped from the bottom.
Yeah.
Nice 2x, I think.
Yeah, it's smacking up into a lot of resistance right now. But yeah, it was a pretty big juicy pump there. Looking good. Okay. That's going to probably range for a second here as the macro finds itself.
I mean, with his coins, it's really hard to do TA.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
One bit of news and then boom, everyone's rotating kind of thing.
Yeah. That's what I'm hearing. I stopped trying to really do
TA them.
Yeah. Just kind of like
gotta
basics.
keep moving if it's gonna work. That's the nature of that system. Is next.
Mm. But this is generally just really bullish for the ecosystem. He's doing big buys on Pulse Chain and, obviously Pulse Wrap Bitcoin, et cetera. So, it's great. Thank you for your service, sir. He's building something that's adding value. And if you can get a hang of the game going on, game theory, and keep moving, then yeah, it's definitely profits to be made. Let's look at ink really quick. We're trying to look at this. $1.21.
Zinc at 124, 123,
121. Yeah.
Oh Lord, it's going down more.
Yeah. So I did one of my quick sketches here a week or two ago. See what happens.
Now could be a good time to take leverage on ink. I know a guy.
Okay. Probably going a little bit lower, but hopefully it just chops in kind of this general range for a while, which is kind of what I was kind of feeling when I was looking at it before making that last low. And I think the low for the markets, if it plays out like what I'm thinking, might be July. Unless we do, no matter what, even if we do a normal cycle and we have a top in this fall, obviously Bitcoin would technically top out if it plays out like every other cycle around October, November. Then still the low could come in July-ish. If we do something longer, which would throw everybody off and extend the cycle, then I guess maybe the low could still come in this summer, but then we still just kind of chop sideways until maybe the end of the year we start pumping and then go into 2026, which would, I guess, throw off a lot of people. A lot of people are expecting the cycle to end pretty soon because they need the recession or the depression to happen. But we're already in a recession. And we've technically been in one for, I think, 8 months at least at this point. But I don't think they're going to let things completely fall apart. At least I hope not. Let's go back real quick. Let's see. I have my gold targets are like 3750, 4100. Maybe the bull run really kicks off when, well, we are going to get a face melting run at some point here. Let's see the silver to gold ratio. Oh no, that's CFD silver.
How's gold doing right now?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And this gold's at 3,300, 3,315. And on the weekly, we got a pretty big doji candle right there. Could be a reversal. Certainly, when you look here, you see the RSI. Where we get really cranked out, and the stochastic has been cranked out for a very long time, which you're seeing here on gold. This generally has signaled a pullback on gold. If you go back at least 2024, same thing. RSI was cooked out while the stock stayed peaked out, kind of had a pullback. Same thing happened just recently when gold hit 2,800 and then pulled back to 2,500-ish. RSI was topped out with the stochastic, and you've got the same thing happening now. Stochastic is pretty cooked out, and RSI is as well, and you've got this doji kind of confirming. So I think we're going to have a pullback. It doesn't mean the rally in gold is over. We could just pull back to the, was it 21 here? Just like it did before. At the other two times gold did this, when the stock and the RSI were cranked out, it just pulled back to the moving average. Here it almost touched it. Maybe do we get something like that here again, where it just pulls us back to maybe 31-ish, which might be a great entry. I think I think these targets up here are going to be hit. I think we are going to get up to 3,800, 4,100 eventually. Maybe this is the top, but yeah, I think we're going to get some kind of pullback here on gold for sure, which I think at this point means what? It means we're possibly going to get a pullback on BTC as well. Is that kind of what we've been looking at, the trend lately for that? I just lose everybody.
Still here. I just don't understand.
It's science, bro.
So from my understanding, right?
Yeah.
Now, you correct me if I'm wrong, but the real cycle starts when we start seeing rotations from assets like gold. So from what I remember last cycle, gold started dipping and Bitcoin started pumping. Am I correct in this regard or am I wrong?
You can see gold peaked from the in July of 2020, which was the summer before they started printing, correct? If I remember, they started printing like right around there, right? Does that sound about right? It was like summer of 2020, right? Does that sound about right?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, when was is there a chart where you can compare gold to Bitcoin? Is there a chart like that?
Yeah, we could probably.
Would there be PAX G you'd have to utilize, or?
No, there's a way to put them. I can add it. Hang on. Fuck what I do. Hello. Hang on a second here. Let's go back to here. Oh, what the fuck did Okay, there we go. Oh, hang on one second, dude. There we go. Okay. Can I make this bottom part bigger? Okay. So if I come... Jesus. All right. So I don't want to crush. So yeah, oh man. Chat, how do I just make the gold part bigger? Because these are way off.
What if you try to compare PAX G to gold? I mean, PAX G to Bitcoin is because that's a token, right? And it's backed by gold.
So everything sold off a little bit, and gold rallied from March of 2020 all the way up to August of 2020, which was here, and BTC was around 10K. Maybe that's about when they started printing, because BTC went absolutely ballistic and gold started weakening, right? Gold peaked at about $2,000 and then sold off to a low of about 1,700 and started running up again as BTC started coming down to peak again, make a double top at 2,000 and then pull back to 1,600 when BTC was falling apart in 2021. So it also pulled back. And then it's been rallying with BTC pretty consistently. So if gold is reversing here, if it follows the general overall trend, then maybe we would assume BTC is also pulling back here. BTC XAU.
Or you could just do BTC and PAX G, because PAX G is what XAU is backed by. PAX G is the official kind of gold currency.
PAX G and XAU?
Yeah, PAXG.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the old school one.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
It's interesting that they've been rallying together recently.
Yeah, and when BTC went on its ballistic moves, it certainly pumped back here in 2022. Interesting. Oh, that's all I get? Jesus. God damn it. Yeah, so, I mean, this reversal on gold, I guess, could signal
A reversal on Bitcoin?
possibly.
As long as we stay above 88k, I think it's bullish.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Dude, Saint, thank you for having me on, bro. But something just popped up, so I gotta go, bro.
You got it, brother. It was great having you, man.
Yeah, sorry I wasn't on for too long, but
No, man. You're welcome.
I'll
I
see
will
you guys.
represent the Persians while you're gone.
Thank you, brother. Make sure the Arabs stay on top.
Deal.
U.S. stimulus round was April 2020, then December 2020, March 2021. U.S. midterm elections are November 2026. We should be up before that. That makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. PAX was good, man. Yeah, it did run hard. Looked really juicy. Oh, hello.
Off topic, but did you guys hear that Canada elected a new prime minister?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask, is he not a liberal twat, or am I wrong?
He is a member of the Liberal Party.
And is the Liberal Party very pro they them?
More than the Conservative Party.
So it's not good news then.
But this guy's like different, right? Like the last guy, Justin Trudeau, like he was a pretty boy. He was pushing the they them agenda. This guy was like head of the Bank of England for a while. He was head of the Bank of Canada for a while. Like he's like hardcore finance background. He's a smart guy. So I think it could look very different, even though it is the same political party. The leader matters, and he took a lot of votes from the Conservatives because I think he fit the bill for what a lot of people wanted, as far as the type of person you want standing up front.
Interesting. And was he the one that the Israeli prime minister or president said, "Oh, you don't get a vote from us because he did not comment on the Israel thing," or is that someone else?
No idea. But they don't get to vote anyway, so only Canadians get to vote in the Canadian election.
I think they run the world. My personal opinion.
Mayhaps, but yeah, I don't think it had an effect on this particular election. He basically got in because of Trump. Like the Conservatives were going to win, like for sure. Like Polymarket had like 8-1 odds on the Conservatives winning, But then when Trump started talking about Canada becoming the 51st state and tariffs and all that stuff, the guy who was the conservative leader, Pierre, he failed to stand up for the country and shout Trump down, and that lost him a ton of votes. So, and those votes went to this other guy, Mark Carney, who did do that, who was very vocal against Trump and his policies.
Interesting.
So, not sure if it's bullish financially or not, but at least there's somebody driving the boat who went to school in this case, which is probably not a terrible thing.
Yeah, I mean, my main concern is the parades you guys have been having.
Is the what? Sorry, can you repeat that?
The parades. Sorry, my mic wasn't far away. The parades that I've been seeing. Yeah, the LGBTQ HDI parades where, you got naked men and little kids around them and stuff. But I guess you got that all over the world now, so you can't even change it. Apart from
My
Russia.
general viewpoint is that no man wearing a dress is ever going to take over the world. I'm not too worried about it. It's probably not going to change the numbers for crypto anyway. I think we're looking at status quo in this case. Those kind of things will probably stay the same. They probably won't get worse. They probably won't get better, depending on what your viewpoint on those things is.
Yeah, I mean, you're printing red down here monthly on the MACD. Looks such a similar pattern to this double top back here from 2021, 2022. Certainly got a very strong weakening trend here. So, look, it's very similar to here. Maybe we get a little bit of a pullback, and we rip. Makes sense. 2026 could line up really well. It could certainly be smaller than what we're seeing here, But we rip. Scoop around down there.
When you look at that chart,
yeah.
You start the question, have we even been in the bear market?
You mean because of all the way this all looks?
Yeah, the way it looks good.
No, Bitcoin's never really seen a bear market.
That Bitcoin chart, right?
Yeah, to XAU.
Oh, that's to XAU. Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's a really cool chart. You do see a little bit of this going on right now. Right?
Mm. You got interesting times ahead, that's for sure.
Yeah. You do have a monthly, you've got this crossing here, the red and the blue, and you got red printing down here, okay? Now, partly this could just have to do with the fact of gold still having, by the way, shout out to, who is it, Ink Maxi? Or was that you who told me to pull up this one? BTC XAU.
No, I told you to pull up the BTC Pack G one.
So shout out, Ink Maxi, thanks, brother. They're all great, but this is cool because this also lines up possibly with gold. We could get a big juicy rally into May. There's no doubt about that. We could get another pump here possibly. Gold maybe needs to pull back a little bit, but maybe gold still has higher targets it needs to take out, which would give this time to weaken and kind of just let everything reset, and then we move up.
So that's a ratio chart, right? Between gold and Bitcoin. So when you think about it, right, gold realistically doesn't need to dip, but Bitcoin just needs to technically outperform it for that candle to go back up.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Could we come out kind of like, would it be like what we did here? We'll do this again, something like that here. And then we'd break. It's a ratio chart. It's just this pattern could continue. This maybe this breaks when we get to the top, right, of the thing, because this is an ascending. You know, man, look at that, it's a fucking beast.
Damn. That is one bullish chart, bro.
Bitcoin's, yeah, you wanted to hold Bitcoin in the last 10 years, not gold for sure. Gold's just getting its time right now, but yeah, it's interesting, man. It's cool. It puts it in a different perspective here when you look at it like this. Let's see, going back here. Damn. If you got in Bitcoin anytime like like that cycle, the 2015, 16, I mean, this fucking like a whole new paradigm right here. And is it going to break out of here? Maybe not, because gold's also going to perform here. And like I said, I think it may go a little higher. So maybe we end up filling out the top of this before maybe eventually it falls out and you know, if it ever does, comes back to test something. That'd be interesting, right? Comes all the way up. Bam, bam. Comes down somewhere eventually, and then we start a new. No, I mean it could. You know what's going to happen, dude? Actually, is we could break into another paradigm as well, right?
Would go up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Could be like this, and then like this,
and then you have a little dip,
yeah,
a little setback,
yeah,
and then
yeah, man, 100%.
Very interesting.
Yeah, you could go into a whole new a whole new dimension, right? Where you break out, you know, kind of like similar like you did here, right? So yeah, this could happen too. It doesn't have to be big. That would also just mean price of gold would crash, or the price of BTC just goes absolute fucking.
Yeah,
nuts.
technically, gold could stay stable, right?
Yeah.
Or even go down 1 or 2%.
Yeah.
And BTC goes up, I don't know, what, 40%, 30%. You know, I think when you see BTC at 200k, 240k at the end of this cycle, maybe even 160k, and gold, that's when that chart was.
I think at least 400k.
400k
Are
this
they
cycle?
correlated with each other? Like, is that what has your research shown a correlation between BTC and gold?
Well, when we were looking,
maybe they move up and down together in the future, like digital gold and real gold.
I don't see that happening, sadly.
There were areas that they did move together, but when they did print in 2021, or when BTC has its big impulsive euphoric moves, gold pulls back. Everybody sells into BTC then.
Yeah, exactly that. And then as soon as people hear shady business, or, you know, investors start getting worried, investors start switching from BTC back into gold because, you know, they see it as a safer bet, right? And that's what I mean when I say like last cycle, when just before the parabolic run that we had. From what I remember, gold was dipping and Bitcoin was pumping. And, you know, when I done my research about it, it's just basically people with big gold positions who are rotating into Bitcoin, realistically. Because at the end of the day, right, as an investor, you're always going to run back to the thing that's the most safest. And even in regards to any investment, I think gold is still probably the safest investment in regards to you losing millions of dollars, right? Gold, unless you have a 2008 crash where, you know, the whole market's just crashed to the point where, yeah, gold does a 60% dip. But I don't think we'll ever get back to that kind of situation.
Dude, this would be insane.
Hey lads, I'm gonna have to call her a night. I got another stream coming up right away here. But pleasure chatting with you as always.
Yeah, pleasure chatting with you, brother. I think this is a perfect place to also wrap up, man, on this chart, because I am thinking 400k for BTC at least. Yeah, doesn't have to happen this summer or the fall. It could be that 2026 move, but yeah, I think so.
Wow. You're 2x above my
You got to think bigger, bro.
Okay. Do you look at the rainbow chart?
Once in a while.
The LGBTQ HDI TV chart.
Generally don't like it.
That's what I like to call it.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool, but I don't like rainbow charts. And not because of LGBT, but they just... I think some of this stuff's always better to look at, you know? It's too perfectly laid out for me, man. You know what I mean?
I mean, when you look at it like that, damn, it does look good.
Yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be great, man. Hey, I'm glad you came and joined the stream tonight, man. It was good to meet you. Good to talk to you. And Panos too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely got to.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
I'll hop in. Whenever, kind of thing.
No,
I'll drop you a message.
Exactly, man. That's exactly how it is. Pretty chill. As long as I got the bandwidth, everybody's welcome. And chat, you guys are absolutely amazing. Thanks so much, and thank you to Crypto Artie for that super chat. And Fast Abdul. Always good, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
This was a cool one.
Yeah. How long do we go tonight? What do we do? We had 3 hours.
You guys are on here for hours before I came
4
on.
hours, man. I swore I was like, I'm going to be off in 2.5 hours tonight. That's it. 4 hours. But this is nothing for you, right, Kara? You guys are doing like 6-7 hours.
I didn't even notice, bro.
You didn't even notice.
I don't look at time no more, bro. What's the point? Time is time. It's never going to change.
Yeah.
Better not to look at it.
Everybody smash the like button. Go follow KR. Go to the spaces. Fast Abdul. Subscribe here to St. Wolf Vision. Go to the Telegram group. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. And I'm going to try streaming in a couple nights. So I'll see you guys soon. Night, everybody.
Easy.
See you.
Night.